team's top players out on the ice. Here's Steele, couldn't corral. That allows Minarak to chase it down. Opportunity out in front. Tried to backdoor pass to Pulskinis. That was poked away there by Eshelman in a good defensive posture. Partridge took a hit to make the play. Here's Albert. He gets the red line. He'll dump it in. Goes off on a change. Smart play there from Braden Albert as both these teams looking for points in the standings. A minute 35 left to go in the third period. Hannes with a good stick. He finds Lippert on the far side. Lippert trying to cut through, poked off his stick. Dropped down low behind the net. Papa Christopoulos went back to his defensive partner, Fernandez. He was able to navigate Papa Christopoulos. Puck was in his skates, though. Couldn't find it. Lippert down low for Huntoon. Huntoon centering pass, looking for Cook out in front. Here's Mitchell. Turns, fires a shot, deflected off the crossbar. Stays in play, shot from the point, rebound, battled for. They can't find it, they score! Charlie Huntoon with a minute 1 left to go in the third period. Finds the rebound and buries it. The Freeze have stormed all the way back from down 4-2 to take a 5-4 lead with just over a minute to go. That was a nice pinch there from Ryan Mitchell, who nearly found pay dirt. A shot hit the defenseman, rings off the crossbar, hits the glass, stays in play. The Freeze bang away at the crease. Huntoon from behind the net was able to find it and bury it. 5-4 with a minute left to go. Not out of the woods yet, as you have to imagine the Cougars they're going to come with fury this last minute to try to get that goal back. Pushed ahead. Here's Helder. Played out of the zone. Out of his net is Weiseglad, waiting for that puck to get in deep. He'll attack the bench. Deflected out of the zone. Here's Stevens trying to go for the empty net. Fanned on the shot. That allows McElroy to pick it up. Walks in near side. Opportunity shot towards goal. Save made. The rebound available. They push around. It's whistled down. The play is blown dead. The Cougars think they have scored, but they're going to say that they pushed Marinakis as he had the puck. The referee very emphatic that that goal does not count with 26.2 seconds left to go in the third period. We're going to face off deep, I believe, in the free zone. We're going to get a timeout before that. Let's quickly recap the scoring. Sean Stevens opened the scoring from Austin Helder, his 5th of the year. Spencer Kauk tied it at 1, his 9th. Caden McElroy scores his 5th. Alex Piktowski scores his 4th to make it a 3-2 game. Make that 3-1 game. Brendan Hannes makes it 3-2. Charles Demaraki scores to make it a 4-2 game. Braden Kelly brings it back within 1. Austin Helder tied it. Charlie Huntoon scores to make it a 5-4. Fresh Coast at advantage. Stay tuned as we'll have an interview with the player of today's game with on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar.
Does he speak English? Okay, thank you, Charlie. I hope so.
Face off deep to the right of Cameron Marinakis. 26.2 seconds left to go in the third period of what's been a fantastic hockey game. Sorry, day 2 of the Detroit Showcase. Played out in front of the net. Here's Cook. Slides it towards the empty net. Doesn't have enough. They score! Brad Cook puts the dagger in. 18 seconds left to go in the hockey game as Brad Cook buries the 6th. The Freeze look like they'll collect 2 points after being down by 2 goals here late in the third period. 18.6 left to go in the third. Face off back to neutral ice as Brad Cook calmly was able to play that down the ice. Drills the middle of the net. Face off back to neutral ice, chopped into the free zone. Here's Hill. 15 to go in the game as Hill bangs this off the boards out to neutral ice. Hayden Blick with the steal, walking into the zone as he takes us to the corner. Fires a sharp angle shot, save made by Weiseglad as Blick gets drilled in the corner. Freeze will collect 2 points, but Hayden Blick will not come out of this unscathed as appears to be in some distress, as that'll do it. Game is over. But I think the important part is that they're going to check on Blick. But the Fresh Coast win the hockey game, but kind of importantly for Cameron Marinakis, it's his first ever win with the Fresh Coast Freeze as they collect the puck. A check on Blick. He appears to be all right as the Freeze win this one 6-4. Let's give you a quick scoring recap before we sign off of what was an incredible way to start day 2 of the Detroit Showcase. But before we get to that, we have our player of the game interview with Sarah Vassar. She's going to grab Charlie Huntoon, who is currently congratulating Cameron Marinakis. Teams will shake hands. But quickly, let's recap before we turn down to the interview. Sean Stevens opened the scoring from Austin Helder. That's Stevens' 5th of the year. Spencer Kauke scored his 9th, tying it at 1. Caden McElroy gets his 5th, 8:55 into the second period. Alex Piktowski scores his 4th. Brendan Hannes made it a 3-2 game with his 2nd of the year. Charles Demaraki scored his 7th to make it a 4-2 game. Braden Kelly his 6th. Austin Helder his 8th. And Charlie Huntoon his 4th. As we have Charlie Huntoon making his way to Sarah Vassar. As you get one opportunity to do an interview and you're going to make her way. So Charlie Huntoon will be our player of the game. As this is a little tradition the Freeze do after each game. They pray at center ice together. Just something that they implemented at the beginning of their franchise. Patrick Waterman spearheads this. You know, he's out of the lineup, but he's an emotional leader for the Freeze. This is one way for a captain to stay connected with his team, 1, being at the games, and 2, being a huge part of it. But, man, what a game that was. 4 goals in the second period by the Cougar to take a 4-2 lead. The Freeze bounced back. As Charlie Huntoon now joins on-ice reporter Sarah Vassar. Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Aaron. So, Charlie, you are our Troy Oral Surgery player of the game with that game-winning goal. Can you walk us through what you saw there?
I mean, I saw the shot come off this pad or whatever, and then grabbed it coming behind from the goal line and just tucked it in the net. And then after that, just finished the game right there. And then after that, I got one more. So really sealed the deal there after that.
So what do you think your team did well this morning throughout this game?
Coming in to prepare, coming in, stretching, stuff like that. Getting ready, getting our minds right, and just basically getting ready for the game before. So, yeah.
All right, well, good job and good luck with the rest of the weekend. Back up to you guys on the void deck.
Gentlemanly move by Ryan Mitchell and Emerson Lippert, letting Sarah get out of there before they give Huntoon the water bath. That's a huge comeback win for the Fresh Coast Freeze. Just because where they're at in the standings, they're in a dogfight with the Cincinnati Cyclones for that last spot in the Great Lakes Division. Cyclones will play the Cougars tomorrow. They also have the next game with Matt Preer coming up on the call of that. As I'm Aaron Poling, thank you so much for joining us of Game 1 of the day. If the next 3, it's actually going to be the Columbus Mavericks and the Metro Jets MJDP. My apologies. But if Game 1 of today is anything like the rest of the games, boy, we are in for a treat, as this should be an exciting day. I love these showcases. I'm blessed enough to get to call a bunch of games in a weekend. But, man, how do you have a bad weekend when you get to watch hockey all weekend? And I'm going to keep saying weekend. But with that, signing off, thank you so much, as we'll turn it over to the next game in the voice of the Metro Jets. Matt Preer will have MJDP versus the Columbus Mavericks coming up momentarily.
Nice job, buddy. Appreciate it.
Sound check.
Okay. Good.
Just say test.
Test.
Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you a pleasant good morning from Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. It is day number 2 of the 2025 United States Premier Hockey League Detroit Showcase. Game number 2 here in the primary Jets rank, and this matchup features the Columbus Mavericks, who will face off against the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club up high in the flight deck. Good to have you with us as we roll into day number 2 of the USPHL Detroit Showcase. Special guest color analyst for this one. He is the general manager, head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, Lee Lansdowne. And Lee, first and foremost, welcome to the flight deck, my friend.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Now, Lee, we were talking off the air. This is your first time on a broadcast. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's all good. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Really looking forward to it. We've talked about this a couple times in the past, and now we were able to put it together, and certainly appreciate you coming out a little early. I know you guys don't play till later today, but certainly appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us today.
Yeah, no problem. I look forward to doing it, and it's always good to come and see Columbus play, who we've got them. We've played them 4 times. We've got them another 4 times, so it's an opportunity to learn more about those guys. And MJDP, who we played yesterday, overtime loss for us, but another opportunity to learn more about them, as we're probably going to see them in Chicago Showcase.
So kind of the same theory as yesterday going into today. MJDP lost to you guys, the Cincinnati Cyclones, at the USPHL Midwest Showcase by a 4-2 count. That very morning, November 1st, MJDP pulled out a 4-0 victory over the Columbus Mavericks. So perhaps MJDP yesterday was a little perturbed, let's say. And the same theory can be applied today. General Manager, head coach Joey Rechtenwald and his group perhaps a little disgruntled at MJDP after that loss.
Yeah, I think so. And talking to Joey and Jamie, I think that may be one that they probably would have wanted back from that showcase. They're a good team. They're top of the Great Lakes Division right now, and they're a dangerous team. So they want an opportunity to show, especially after they beat Metro Jets' top team. Like they want the chance now to do it against MJDP, and they want their chance at redemption from the Chicago Showcase.
And indeed, the Columbus Mavericks sitting on top of the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division, a record of 16 wins, 4 losses. They've won 2 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, including yesterday's 4-2 victory over the Chicago T-Rex. While the Metro Jets Development Program, they're on a 6-game heater right now, 6 in a row, including yesterday's 2-1 overtime victory over your Cincinnati Cyclones, currently second in the USPHL Premier Midwest Division. 10 wins, 7 losses, 1 overtime loss, 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. And the Columbus Mavericks, what's the fun part about a showcase is when one of the host teams is actually the road team today. So the MJDP will be the road team today. The Columbus Mavericks are the home team. How much of an advantage is that really when you're a home team?
The last change is huge. I know for us, when we look to get our line matchups where we can, some teams just more focus on themselves, and I think Columbus are maybe one of those teams where they're going to go with what they think is going at that time, so that maybe they won't be as concerned about what Metro's got on the ice. But no, I mean, to have that last change is for us, it's important. For a team like Columbus, as skilled and as deep as they are, maybe a little less important to them. But no, I mean, I think it's an advantage for them. MJDP definitely played. They were a lot stronger yesterday than when we saw them in Fort Wayne and on that home rink, and I think that's an advantage. They're still in their building, right? So they're still in their locker room. So I think the last change part of this particular matchup isn't going to be as important.
And leading the way for the Columbus Mavericks is the 19-year-old from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, wears number 67, Giovanni Valentine. Tied for 8th overall in the USPHL Premier in scoring, 21 goals, 21 assists, 42 points on the season for the third-year Maverick.
Yeah, Gio can play. We played him 4 times. I think he's been heavily on the score sheet every single time. The kid's got a fantastic ability to score goals. You can't give him time and space. You give him that, and he's going to hurt you one way or another, whether that's, getting pucks to the net, and then his teammates scrambling in the rebound or whatever it be. But Gio is definitely one of the top players in the Great Lakes Division, for sure.
Highest score amongst defensemen on the Mavericks. Where's number 71, the 17-year-old from San Jose, California, Ethan Zavella. Zavella, 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points. Highest score amongst defensemen on the roster, keeping in mind he's just 17 years old. Yeah,
and I think that's, to be honest, I think that's Columbus's biggest strength, is their D-core. When we play them, we very rarely get out on the rush against them. Very rarely get any odd man situations. Their D-core is very, very, very strong this year. And Zavella, he's another guy. He's put up some points against us. And that's the thing about Columbus, is you can't go and take away just 1 or 2 guys. They're deep. They got a bunch of guys that can play.
Entering the call in goal this morning for the Columbus Mavericks, where's number 29, the 19-year-old Columbus native Kai Nelson will get the call this morning for the Mavericks. A record of 3 wins, 1 loss, a .350 goals against average, a .908 save percentage. Kind of surprised they were, in my opinion, I'm surprised to see Nelson in goal, but perhaps saving Jonah Little, the primary number 1 goaltender for tonight against Charlotte.
Yeah, I would think that's their thought process, especially with the 2 games in one day. That's the tough part about these showcases. And, Little is another one that's at the top of the Great Lakes Division for a reason. The kid can play. But I think they have full confidence in Nelson. He's, as far as junior goalies go, maybe on the smaller side, but his movement's still good. And I think they're confident that he can come in and do the job.
The team they are playing is to our left. They play their home games right here, Mount Clemens Ice Arena in Mount Clemens, Michigan. It is the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP. And the leading scorer on the team is the 19-year-old from Petoskey, Michigan, a gentleman you know very well from less than 24 hours ago, Noah Badurka. 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 points on the season. Badurka, 10 points in the last 5 games.
Yeah, the one thing you know about any Metro program is that all these guys are going to be so well coached and so well drilled, and they know how to play the game at this level. Badurka yesterday, he's the one that got us in overtime. Jumped on a play right off the draw there and scored on the breakaway. But yep, again, when that's your scoring record there in the last 10 games, he's on a hot streak. Columbus are going to have to look out for him for sure.
No doubt about it. And leading scorer amongst defensemen on the MJDP roster is another young guy, 17-year-old out of Wheeling, Illinois, the 93, Daniel Luska. Luska, graduate from the Metro Jets Elite program. He has adjusted quite well to the Premier side. 2 goals, 11 assists, 13 points in the season.
Yep. Luska's a really good skater. I really like his feet, and his vision is good too. We saw him at NCDC showcase over the summer, but no, he's a standout, I think, amongst their D-core, and no surprise he's at the top of their scoring chart for the D-core there.
And answering the call and goal this morning is the 19-year-old from Romeo, Michigan. Where's number 31, Cameron Cyrus? Cyrus, another graduate from the Metro Jets Elite program. He's adjusted quite well on the Premier side. 5 wins, 2 losses, a .299 goals against average, .902 save percentage, 1 shutout. That came against this Columbus Mavericks team just 3 weeks ago.
Yep, and confidence is key when you're a goalie. So coming off of a shutout against this very same Columbus Mavericks is going to be big for him, and we'll see if Columbus can get to him. I've not seen him play yet, but from everything I've heard, and one of my goalies is kind of local to this Michigan area and talks very highly of Cyrus. So, it'll be interesting to see if Columbus can get to him here.
Cyrus ran to the call and goal, starting on as for the rest of the starting lineup for MJDP on defense. The 18-year-old from Vilnius, Lithuania, the 46 of Paulius Jusianis, and alongside him the 19-year-old from Macomb, Michigan, at 53, John Lejabokov. Starting at center, the 19-year-old from Petoskey, Michigan, the 97, Noah Baderka. On his left side, the left wing, the 18-year-old from Saint-Amand, Degratham, Quebec, Canada, the 27 at Clovis. Game winner on the right wing, the 19-year-old from Miami, Florida, the 11, Lucas Benavidez. Head coach of MJDP is Jake Howie, his third season behind the bench. For the Columbus Mavericks, as we mentioned in goal, the 19-year-old from Columbus, Ohio, the 19 of Kai Nelson. On defense, the 20-year-old from Erie, Pennsylvania, the 5 of Liam Wade. Alongside him, the 18-year-old from Poland, Czechia, the 77, Dennis Hornet. Starting at center, the 17-year-old from Johnstown, Ohio, the 61 of Carter Holbrook. On his left side, on the left wing, making his second appearance with the Columbus Mavericks, former Vernal Oiler, the 19-year-old from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the 24 of Ethan DeFore. And on the right wing, the 20-year-old from Cheyenne, Wyoming, the 88 of Aaron Galan. General manager, head coach of the Columbus Mavericks is Joey Rechtenwald, his third season behind the bench. 7th ever meeting between the Columbus Mavericks and MJDP, and we are underway. Game number 2, the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase here on the primary Jets rink. And I got to tell you, Lee, what a heck of a crowd here this morning for this game. My goodness.
Yeah, it's obviously a lot of interest in this one, and Metro being a quote-unquote home team. Yeah, no surprise, but a good showcase, always heavily attended.
Picked up there by Liam Wade, the 20-year-old from Erie, Pennsylvania. Sends it over into the neutral zone. John Legibokov will go after it. Legibokov, a call-up earlier this season from the Jets elite squad, as the 27 of Dylan McKessie couldn't quite keep it in. Fleming brings it right back in for the Mavericks. He's pressured there by Paulius Yazushinis. That's a name to give. As Cyrus makes the save, that's a name to go. It's going to be a spelling test later on that. Paulius Yazushinis. My goodness, you spell that.
I'll pass on that one.
Uzusienis. Yazushinis. I've been having trouble with that all year long.
Can I get a consonant in there? Consonant in there, please?
What's that?
Can I get a consonant in there?
Yeah, no kidding.
Too many vowels.
No kidding. My goodness. Q, we got to work on guys with some of their names. I'm still struggling with Yazushinis. Well, that's on me. Yeah, thanks, Q. And we got to behave. Q's up here. So picked up there by Lusco as Cameron Schaefer had to bring it out of the own zone, dumps it in. To the left, a goaltender Kai Nelson. Bringing it out will be Luke Fleming, the 20-year-old from Asheville, Ohio. Sends it across, and now picked up there by the 13 of Ian Buswell. Buswell dumps the puck in. Picking it up is Jacob Smith. Smith pressured on the puck by Cameron Schaefer, and the puck dumped into the neutral zone. Collected there by Thomas Ashley. Ashley now over to Giovanni Valentine. Valentine, the man everyone's talking about on the Columbus Mavericks side. He was the Troy Oral Surgery player of the game in yesterday's 4-2 victory. Over rebound, scores! And well, why not? Giovanni Valentine puts the Mavericks on the board.
And that's exactly what I mean. You lose him, you lose tracking of him. They fired it over to Brownie there, and Brownie put it on net. I believe it was Alexander Brown threw it on net. You lose tracking of Valentine, and that's just what he does. He shows up in those scoring areas. The guy can score goals.
The 19-year-old from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, just picked up his 22nd goal of the season. And the Columbus Mavericks wasted no time, just a minute 50 into the first period after being shut out by MJDP just 3 weeks ago. The Mavericks strike first. They lead 1-0. As McLean trying to feed it up to Rabone. And Thomas Ashley dumps the puck in. Bouncing puck there on the 37 of Mario Boscovich. Boscovich dumps it in, picked up by Valentine. Tried to send it over to McConaughey, but now MJDP trying to get it out. Rabone couldn't get it out. Kept in by Alexander Brown. Knocked away by Boscovich, and the puck goes into the neutral zone. Picked up there by the number 3 of Timothy Boyd as Boscovich grabs it. It was Valentine, his 22nd of the year, from Alexander Brown and Brian McConaughey. Just a minute 49 into the first period to give the Mavericks a 1-0 lead. As Donald Pratt sends it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Timothy Boyd, former Chicago Cougar. As Donald Pratt grabs it, wraps it around the boards for Ben McLean. McLean off the boards, looking for, and finds Blake Brackett. Brackett tried to feed Rabone, but was knocked away by Thomas Eggleston. Collected there. Eggleston grabs it back. Eggleston brings it in with a shot, saved by Cyrus, and he'll hang on, forcing a stoppage of play with 14:02 to go here in the first period.
And that's where Columbus are so strong, too. They're so quick in transition. Their D very rarely overhandle. They don't dust pucks. Everything's D to D, right up. Great center support. Dish it out wide. driving their feet. It's very hard to defend against this Columbus team.
Face off to the right of goaltender Cameron Cyrus. Brian Savage pushes it forward. Enric Fournier grabs it. Blake Brackett pressured there by Ori Moss Rendell. And goes back into the MJDP zone. Picked up by John Lejabokov. Lejabokov over to Blake Brackett. Brackett had it knocked away. Was looking for Jarrett LeGros. And it comes back to Eggleston. Eggleston turnover. Brackett with a shot. And Nelson had to fight that one off with his left shoulder. Comes back to Enric Fournier. Fournier with a shot deflected. And a save made by Nelson. A puck driven down into the Maverick zone. Now off to the races. Cyrus comes out to play it. He'll set it into the neutral zone for Brackett. Nice bench awareness by Luke Fleming to not touch that puck in the midst of a line change. Here comes Dennis Hornet. Hornet brings it out. Goes around Enric Fournier, who drives him into the boards. Brackett goes back after it. Met there by Luke Fleming. Lets it go through his legs and kicked into the neutral zone. Comes back to the 22 of Brian Savage. Savage feeds it up to Carter Holbrook, who dumps it in past fellow 61 Enric Fournier. Fournier knocks it over for John Lejabokov. Lejabokov to Clovis Gamelin. Sidesteps his man. That was the 24 of DeFore. And now picked up by Noah Baderka. Baderka sends it cross eyes. Looking for and finds Yushinis. Sends it across. Gamelin had it, lost it, and now here comes the Mavericks. It was the 88 of Gallant, but now Yushinis grabs it after the pass from Schaefer. Cameron Schaefer now sends it across over to Clovis Gamelin. Gamelin now to Benavidez with a shot through the legs of Fleming, goes wide. Zavello sends it up to the 17 to Jacob Smith. Smith now to Ethan Dufour. Start of the year with the St. Stephen County Moose, NCDC, before coming to the Columbus Mavericks. Played his first game yesterday for the former Vernal Oiler and former Colorado Fighting Elk. And icing is the call. 12:09 to go here in period number one.
It's been a good start. Columbus are getting in pucks in deep, establishing their forecheck, sending two guys hard all the time. It's tough to play against when you execute that well, and Columbus have been good at that forecheck so far this season.
Shots already 4-1 in favor of the Mavericks with a face-off deep in the MJDP zone. Buswell wins the draw over Gamelin. Now taken away by Chris Kobayashi. Kobayashi sends it in. Bouncing puck on Nelson, who was in prime position to make that save as he battles there with Thomas Ashley. Liam Smith comes to help out right out in front. And Thomas LeBlanc right there with a point-blank opportunity. And Nelson had to fight that one off. Yushinis goes after it. Sends it across over for Liam Smith. Let it go. Boyd now grabs it. Bouncing puck goes wide. And Donald Pratt goes after it. Pressured there by Jacob Smith. Smith trying to dig it out. Buswell trying to dig it out as well. And here comes MJDP the other way. Liam Smith to Thomas LeBlanc. Kicks it back over to Smith. Kobayashi heading towards the net to his right elbow. Trying to feed it across. And Boyd knocked it away. Timothy Boyd with the puck. He'll drive it down into the neutral zone. Luska grabs it. Feeds it across over to former Palm Beach Typhoon Donald Pratt, who sends it in. Hops over to stick of Hornet. He'll go after it. Icing negated. Hornet over to Valentine. Giovanni Valentine knocked away by Caleb Curdo. Curdo able to keep the puck in the zone on the turnover. Curdo's got some speed. Curdo feeds it across over to Luska. Luska trying to step up. He goes down, stepped on the stick of the 26 of Brian McConaughey. And knocked away by the 14 of Alexander Brown. Pratt now comes back after it. Pressured by Valentine. Knocked over to McConaughey. Caleb Curdo grabbed him. Right back to McConaughey. Now Luska. Up to Aiden Rabone. Rabone to Ben McLean. McLean brings it in. Sends it across over to Curdo. Curdo knocked off the puck by Brown. Bouncing puck. And Kai Nelson makes the save. And let's meet Kai Nelson, the 19-year-old goaltender from Columbus, Ohio. Second season with the Mavericks. Previous to that, spent 4 years, the Olentangy Berlin Bears, Ohio High School Athletic Association. His second season with Nelson, and being in the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division, Lee, you've seen Nelson a time or two.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, like I say, positionally, he does well. His feet are good. He's fought a few off early here. Hopefully that gets him in the game and a little more settled. And Columbus will do a good job of keeping MJDP to the outside. So they'll be looking for Nelson to just make all the ones that he should make and control the game and take whistles where he needs to.
Pass too far for Eggleston. Enric Fournier goes after it. His older brother, Alex Fournier, will be playing later today at 12:30 with the Metro Jets against the Charlotte Rush, which should arguably the premier game of the day, of day 2.
Yeah, yeah, we got to see some of Charlotte earlier yesterday, and they definitely looked like a very deep team. We were watching, we couldn't figure out who their first line is, who their fourth line is. It's 4 lines, the same thing. They're just going to keep coming.
Every year at the USPHL Detroit Showcase, there's always that one team you look on the schedule like, man, that is cool that they're here.
Yeah.
And this year it's the Charlotte Rush.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is great for the Great Lakes Division and the Midwest Division to see teams like Charlotte be here too. Like it's a new challenge now for Metro or for Toledo and those top teams in our division to see them. And Columbus will be another team that will want that challenge too.
Yeah, both Columbus and Charlotte. This is their doubleheader day.
Yeah.
6:30 tonight. It'll be the Columbus Mavericks and the Charlotte Rush. Would you say Columbus would have a little bit of an advantage because the Rush will play the Metro Jets? That game will get over, let's say 2:30. Then you got not a whole lot of turnover. Downtime before coming right back on the ice.
Yeah, I do think that'll be a big advantage for Columbus. And that's not taking anything away from MJDP, but MJDP aren't the most physical team out there too. So that'll play a difference and play a role in what happens tonight. The Columbus aren't really gonna be on the wrong end of those hits a lot in this one. So we'll see what happens, though, and hopefully I think Columbus can probably look to roll 4 lines here and, not overly exert their top guys in this one.
And that extra 2 hours of rest is such a key against a team like the Charlotte Rush, who are going to be coming off what is arguably going to be, like I said, the showcase game of the day with one of the hosts, no less, the Metro Jets.
Yeah, and that's going to be an issue for Charlotte, I think. They cannot overlook this Columbus group and only worry about that Metro game. But, yeah, the 2 hours, that's a big difference when you play 2 games in a day, and you're not used to that at this level.
And MJDP's got the same issue on Monday morning. They play first thing Monday morning at 8 a.m. against the Red River Spartans and then come right back at 12:30 p.m. against the Bearcats Hockey Club.
And that is a small turnaround.
Oh.
And that's going to be tough. And no disrespect at all to Bearcats, but, I think MJDP will be happy it's in that order. But the one thing is you can never take any Metro team lightly if they're playing 2 games in 4 hours, whatever. Like you can't take any Metro team lightly, and if you do, you're going to be in for one.
For sure, as Liam Smith grabs the puck. 7 minutes remaining here in the first period. 1-0 score. Giovanni Valentine with the goal for the Mavericks. Liam Smith, fresh call up for the Metro Jets Elite. He's been going back and forth this season so far. He was a leading scorer for Elite when he got his first call up to MJDP. Picked up by Savage, knocked away by Aiden Rabone. Rabone pressuring McConaughey, sends it up too far for Alexander Brown.
Cyrus came out to play it. Oh, that's not an ice.
Yes, he did. He did come out and play
it. That should not be an ice.
And that's going to be error on the icing call, so face-off will be at center ice. With 6:36 to go here in the first period. So face-off at center ice. And me being a former referee myself, even referees make mistakes from time to time.
That happens at this level? I've never seen it.
Right. I've never seen it ever. Right. So ironically enough, 3 weeks ago in Fort Wayne when these two teams played each other, it was the same 2 goaltenders, Kai Nelson and Cameron Cyrus. So diving a little deeper into Nelson getting the call, perhaps a chance to redeem himself a little bit.
Yeah, I like doing that with my goalies too. Like, hey, you didn't have a good one against these guys last time, so maybe here's an opportunity of some redemption, and go prove your point now. Go make your point that the last time was a bad day. You got an opportunity now to show them that was a one-off. So, yeah, and Kai's had a good start here. Got out well there and handled pucks. So.
Picked up there by Landon Graham, trying to feed it across over to Ryan Jacobson, knocked away. And nice bench awareness there by Boscovich. And then right in the midst of a line change, picked up by Holbrook. Holbrook had it knocked away by Boscovich. And now picked up by Blake Brackett, the 18-year-old from Fairfield, California. Off the boards. Picked up there by Zavella, Ethan Zavella. The 17-year-old former Ohio Blue Jacket. U16 AAA program, the Tier 1 Elite Hockey League. His first year with the Mavericks, so didn't have to go too far anyways. Shot there, save off the helmet of Cameron Cyrus, and he'll hang on. Let's meet Cameron Cyrus. Second year with the Metro Jets Hockey Club. First year on the Premier side with MJDP. Last year with the Jets Elite. 15 games played, a .229 goals against average, a .931 save percentage. 3 shutouts on the season for the Romeo Bulldog. And me being a former goalie, I know you're a former goalie, Lee. One of the biggest stats I look at is save percentage. I could care less what the goals against average is, but that save percentage is what sticks out, a .931 last year.
Yeah, and obviously when that's your save percentage, you're doing something right. And he's weathered the storm a little bit early from Columbus here, and he's kept him in it. It's 1-0 right now, giving his team a chance. So, he looks very strong, looks very confident in that. Again, both goalies on the ice are on the smaller side at this level, but they compete. They compete, and they're working right now.
You led me into my next question. Both goaltenders listed at 5'10", though Kai Nelson 25 pounds heavier than Cameron Cyrus. Nelson 5'10", 175. Cyrus 5'10", just a 150.
But, I mean, you can tell his athleticism is high. So, I mean, that's not always the biggest indicator on their size there. I mean, I work with some goalies. One just down the road here at Fox Motors, who's an undersized goalie. He's playing U18 AAA, and he's one of the top goalies in the nation. So, you know, you look at a guy like Dustin Wolf with Calgary Flames, undersized, but guy's one of the best goalies in the NHL right now. So, here's a chance here, right in front.
Yes, indeed, as Baderka's right there, turns around, fires, saved by Nelson. And to fight that off with the left shoulder with 3:30 to go here in the first period. And
that's what you see Nelson does well there. Like, just stays in control, stays square, good angles, doesn't over-move or get over-aggressive and get out of position. He just kept his feet there, got back to feet early, feet set, nice simple save, controlled the rebound, and Columbus do a very good job of boxing out in front of him.
And by contrast, the backup goalie today for the Mavericks is Jonah Little, who's a very good goaltender, and he's a big dude. 6'2", 225 pounds. Takes up a lot of space between the pipes.
Yeah, we had them last weekend, and Jonah Little played. We outshot Columbus. I think we had 47, somewhere in that area, shots, and we only scored twice on the kid. Jonah Little's a very, very good goalie. I think he's took that #1 spot in Columbus. Again, like, when you got that goalie that you can go to with confidence like that, it really helps the team. Especially, so I'm imagining that he's getting ready for this evening.
And the goaltender you faced yesterday, Cooper Langley,
yes,
the 20-year-old from Highland, Michigan. Interesting to note, 6'4", but 165 pounds. He is the same. He is 10 pounds lighter than Kai Nelson, but has 6 inches of height over Nelson.
Yeah, and yesterday was a really good kind of goalie duel. Here we go. Columbus on the power play here.
Yes, indeed.
But yesterday in our game, it was a very good goalie battle, and you want to talk about size. Our goalie, Nigel Smith, I'll go with his height. I'll leave his weight alone because he'll kill me for. But I mean, I mean, Nigel played unbelievable yesterday.
Well, I told you yesterday, if Noah Bederka hadn't scored the overtime goal yesterday, Nigel Smith was your Troy Oral Surgery player of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
if you guys would have scored, I didn't care who scored.
Yeah.
Nigel was the player of the game yesterday.
But going back to your point about size and things like that, what I like to see more is their compete level, right? And how hard they work, how much they can. They got to stop the ones they should stop, and if they can surprise you with ones along the way, then they're going to give you an opportunity to win games. And Nigel definitely did that for us yesterday and worked really hard. And it was great to see Nigel bounce back from a tough start against Metro, top team there last week.
Daniel Luska, 2-minute minor for interference for MJDP, the 14-13 mark of the first period, puts Columbus on a power play for the first time. They're pretty good, 25%, 17 power play goals and 68 opportunities with the man advantage. MJDP, not bad in the penalty kill, 82%, 39th best in the league. They do have one shorthanded goal, so that has definitely something to keep an eye on. And the puck sent down into the Maverick zone. $1:43 to go here in the first period. Columbus up 1-0 on the goal by Giovanni Valentine. His 22nd of the season from Alex Brown and Brian McConaughey at the 1:49 mark. And Boyd was just leveled by Caleb Curto. But good for Boyd, just got right back up. And Boyd with a shot, deflected there just wide. Interesting to know, Caleb Curto giving up about 4 inches of height. He just flattened Timothy Boyd.
Yeah, I think Boyd was looking to set a little bit of a pick on the entry there, but came off a little worse to wear.
Cyrus makes the save. And now a little bit of a disgruntlement in front of goaltender Cameron Cyrus. Perhaps some of these guys didn't have breakfast this morning. We always recommend, if you're hungry, go to the Golden Greek right across the street. It's the best breakfast you're ever going to have. Have you been to the Golden Greek yet?
I have not.
You've got to take the team to Golden Greek. And we got a penalty.
I think it's matching
coincidentals,
here.
Yep. Mario Boscovich for MJDP and Timothy Boyd for the Mavericks. Couple minors for roughing, coincidental minors. So they'll sit the rest of the period in the box.
Columbus definitely don't shy away from that physical side. Every time we play them, and we play them 8 times. So the games can get chippy and get quite nasty, but Columbus, but that's part of it. There's certain teams where maybe you could think, oh, they're really skilled, so let's get them after physically and things like that. Columbus can play every style you want to play.
And they've proven that this year with victories over the Metro Jets down at Ohio Health Chiller Ice Rinks North in Lewis Center, Ohio. A victory at Team Toledo Ice House in Toledo, Ohio. A very, very tough place to play at.
Yeah, Columbus are making their point this year. That is for sure. They're here to stay, and they're here at the top of the division for a reason. And they haven't just played more the bottom end teams. They played everybody and they beat everybody. So that's great. Obviously, a sign that they're doing their job over there in Columbus. And Joey and Jamie are doing a very good job with this group of guys.
And it is clogged up in the top 4 in the Great Lakes Division. Columbus with 32 points, Toledo with 30. The Metro Jets crawling up there now with 27. Red River's right there at 26. It is clogged up there in that top 4.
Yeah, and we played all 4 of those teams. I can't really get much separation between the 4 of them. Red River are so strong defensively. They're maybe just a little light on bodies compared to the teams carrying, 28 to 30 guys. Red River's a little lower, but all 4 of those teams, that's going to be a real interesting fight to see who wins the division.
That's going to do it for the first period. Shots on goal. MJDP with 5, Columbus with 9. Just 1 goal in that period. Giovanni Valentine is 22nd of the year from Alex Brown and Brian McConaughey. Just $1:49 into the first period. And it's 1-0. And as we've mentioned all weekend long, showcase format, a little bit different than a regular season game, though the games do count in the regular season standings. Instead of the standard 3 20 minutes of play, it is 3 17-minute periods. And instead of the Zamboni coming out between each period, we're taking a minute break. We're 25 seconds into that. When they come out of the break, it'll be 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half of the second period. Then the Zamboni will come out. After that's over, we'll play the second half of the second period and come back for the third period. That's generally how it works here at the USPHL Detroit Showcase. And Lee, with 9 minutes less to get a lead, to come from behind, how much of a factor is that? How much does that change your coaching style?
You've got to tighten up, especially defensively. If you get 2-3 goals behind, like you say, there's 9 minutes less to battle back, right? So you've got to make sure that the game stays close at minimum here. The biggest factor for us, especially you look at yesterday's game, the ice gets bad, right? Because you only get that one cut. So you got to kind of we try to get more away from making the plays, and let's get to our forecheck. Let's get pucks deep, keep the game simple, forecheck, create the turnovers off the forecheck, and get pucks and bodies to the net. You know, it kind of takes away a little bit from the more skill guys where the ice gets bad. But, you know, you got to be able to play in different ways. So, you know, that's kind of our focus, was to just simplify the game, get rid of the plays, and let's just get to work on the forecheck and get pucks and bodies to the net.
The voice you're hearing is the general manager, head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, Lee Lansdowne. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club. We are in the midst of the first half of the second period. The Columbus Mavericks, who call Lewis Center, Ohio home. They are the designated home team for this game. They're wearing the blue uniforms, white, gray, and green trim. They are skating left to right on your television screen. While the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, from the USPHL Premier Midwest Division, play their home games, well, right here, Mount Clemens Ice Arena in Mount Clemens, Michigan. We're 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit. MJDP is actually the road team for this game, wearing the road whites, the blue shoulders and red trim. They're skating right to left on your Black Bear TV dial. Face off deep in the MJDP zone to the right. A goaltender, Cameron Cyrus. Picked up by Holbrook with a bouncing puck shot. Pad save by Cyrus. One thing we've noticed now in Cyrus' second year, he is very, shall we say, our shot save made, shall we say, limber.
Yes, yes, and his lateral movement's very good, especially when down. His lateral adjust is very good, very strong coming across. He stays balanced. His organization's very good, so he's in the right spot to make the second and the third should he need to.
Picked up there by Ethan DeFore, who scored 1 goal in 8 games for the St. Stephen County Moose in the NCDC before coming to the Mavericks. Picked up by Smith, was knocked away there by Clovis Gamel. A little bit of help from Lucas Benavidez. And now Benavidez grabs it. Gets a little bit of help from Gamel, a little bit more help from Yazushines as MJDP in the midst of a line change. Picked up by Jarrett LeGros. Puck was blocked, and now Luke Fleming grabs it. Fleming feeds it across, over for Zavella. Zavella now to DeFore. DeFore up to Beckham Sproul. Sproul brings it in.
Trip.
The shot there, save made. Knocked away there by Cameron Cyrus, but not out. Kept it by Fleming. Bouncing puck. Pad save by Cyrus. Fleming comes back again with the puck. At the blue line, Luke Fleming skating his way in. Pressure there by Brackett. Pressure there by Cameron Schaefer. And here comes MJDP back the other way. Landon Graham. He's got Jarrett LeGros to his left elbow. Back over to LeGros with a shot up high and wide. And LeGros driven to the ice, into the boards. Puck comes back to Luska at the point. He'll send it across to Cameron Schaefer with a shot. Save made. Rebound to Graham. Goes up high and wide. Brackett knocked to the ice. There by the 13 of Buswell. And Buswell now comes back with it. Sends it into the neutral zone. And a couple players are intertwined to the left. A goaltender, Kai Nelson.
I think MJDP going on a power play here.
And indeed, good call as the 16 of Beckham Sproul will head to the box. Puts MJDP in the power play for the first time today. 2-minute minor for holding. And MJDP, 17.7% on the power play. Have scored 11 power play goals and 62 opportunities with advantage. While Columbus pretty darn good in the penalty kill, 88%. 13th best overall in the USPHL Premier, and they've also scored 2 shorthanded goals. That is definitely something to keep an eye on.
They're very good at boxing out. They won't provide many second, third opportunities, and they let they let Nelson see the putt from the point too. So you got to find a way to get in front here and take Nelson's eyes.
Alex Fournier over to Daniel Luska. Luska faded across, knocked away there by the 22 of Brian Savage, who sends it all the way down. Opportunity for MJDP to tie this game. They trail 1-0 on the goal by Giovanni Valentine, his 22nd of the season, from Alexander Brown and Brian McConaughey. That came just a minute 49 into the first period. But since then, it's been, it's fair to say, pretty much lockdown hockey with both clubs.
Yeah, I think Columbus got off to a better start here, but since then it's been kind of 50-50. Both teams getting opportunities, both goalies making some key saves, and yeah, we'll see what happens here. Good chance.
But Durka couldn't bring it to his backhand. The overtime hero in yesterday's game. I'm sorry, Lee. Picks it up. Durka, top of the face-off circle, looking for somewhere to go. Pressure by Thomas Ashley. Feeds it over to Lucas Benavidez. Benavidez now to Alex Fournier. Fournier sends it across over to Daniel Luska. Luska back to Fournier. Fournier with a shot was blocked by Savage. He'll send it over into the corner. Met there by Noah Badurka. Badurka, the 19-year-old from Petoskey, Michigan. Sent it across the game with a shot. And gloved down by Kai Nelson with 4:55 to go. The first half of the second period.
Sorry, Matt. You could see there exactly what I was talking about with the ice. He's wide open in the slot, and the puck just wouldn't sit on his blade right, and he kind of didn't get all of it on that shot. But, yeah, great opportunity there. Working from down low, below the goal line, pop out to the open guy in the slot. Great chance.
As we mentioned, this is the Columbus Mavericks doubleheader day. They'll relax a little bit, have some lunch, come back later tonight at 6:30 p.m. and a date with Charlotte Rush, as yours truly and Justin Kinville is going to be on the call of the game. It's our traditional game that we call together the Detroit Showcase, so definitely looking forward to that. And then the Mavericks will wrap up their showcase tomorrow, Sunday, November 23rd, with the Chicago Cougars, 10:30 a.m. face-off. While MJDP, they'll have tomorrow off. They'll get to relax, enjoy a Sunday. I think the Lions play tomorrow, so I believe in your case the Bengals play tomorrow or play on Sunday as well.
The Bengals put that gear on. I don't know if they're going to play or not.
That's a good one.
Pretty rough.
Then they play Monday, 8 a.m., bright and early Monday morning. MJDP will play the Red River Spartans at 8 a.m. over next door in Rink 2, and then come over here to the primary rink at a very short turnaround time, 12:30 p.m., against the Bearcats Hockey Club. So Columbus successful in killing off that penalty kill. Both teams 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. As LeBlanc trying to keep it in, picked up by Hornet. Hornet sends it across, picked up by Aaron Gallant. Gallant, the 20-year-old from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Played last year for the Wyoming Cowboys, ACHA Division I program, before utilizing his last year of junior hockey eligibility. And he was good last year, 4th on the team in scoring for the Cowboys.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we got to watch the ACHA D1 game last night, and that hockey is
it's good.
Very, very good hockey. We have University of Cincinnati Bearcats play out of our arena, and, you know, they've got NCDC guys. Great save. Big
save by McConaughey, by Cameron Cyrus. Picked up by Brown. Brown sent it across. No one home. Picked up by Kobayashi. But yeah, to your point, ACHA Division I hockey was a lot of fun to call that game last night, too.
Yeah, it was a very, very good game. And great to see a lot of former Great Lakes USPHL Premier players in that game, too.
Several former Metro Jets in that game last night. Several former Toledo Cherokee in that game last night. It was a great game. Actually, matter of fact, Gertis Palauskas.
Game winner, right?
The game winner, the former Toledo Cherokee, former Chicago Cougar. Icing the call, 2:50 to go in the first half of the second period.
Is he the all-time leading goal scorer for the USP, Palauskas?
Palauskas, no, he's not. That is Roman Wolonek over with the Seattle Totems, who's had 1 year of eligibility left, and he's set all the records last year, and this is his final year this year.
Okay.
Yeah, Roman, got a chance to watch Roman last year at the Vegas Showcase.
Yes, we saw him there too.
That's right, right. He's pretty special, for sure.
Yeah, the kid can play, that's for sure. Wow, you don't put up the points he's got if you can't play, right?
No doubt about that. Picked up by Smith, now to Chris Kobayashi. Kobayashi sends it across, save made, rebound, comes out. and the net comes off the moorings.
They're the ones where I think MJDP can get some success. Is sometimes Nelson struggles with his rebound control. So if they drive the net hard here, they can get those second and third opportunities. But, you know, he's done his job so far, right? So we'll see.
Shots a little closer here in the second period. Columbus up 6-5 here in this second, 15-10 overall. As Zavella will send it across, looks for and finds Brian Savage. Savage pickpocket there. Backhand shot saved by Cyrus. They steered him to the outside. Marcourt now back over to Zavella. Zavella sends it across over for the 28 of Fleming with a shot saved by Cyrus. With Savage right there at the doorstep. Savage grabs it as he was going down. Eggleston with a shot. Comes back to Fleming at the point. Fleming now to Zavella. Quick pass to Eggleston. Eggleston now to Marcourt. Ben Marcourt sends it over to the corner, met there by Savage. Kicks it over. Was blocked there by Yuzushinis. It comes back to Zavella. Zavella now over to Fleming with bouncing puck. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Savage. Back over to Marcourt. Columbus, a good shift for this line as Ben McLean tries to tie up the puck over into the corner. Caleb Curto is right there as well. And Lejabokov digs it out. Eggleston goes after Yuzushinis, pokes it ahead for Aiden Rabone. Rabone gets it out of the zone. He's pressured there by Thomas Eggleston. McLean grabs it away from Eggleston, dumps it into the Maverick zone. And now collected by Timothy Boyd. Boyd off the boards, picked up there by Ryan Jacobson, who knocks it in the delayed offside. Gives the Mavericks a little time, and now Boyd up to Holbrook, intercepted. Jacobson trying to feed it up to Rabone, but picked off by Holbrook, and Holbrook now to the 24 of Ethan DeFore. Lost it there to Lejabokov, who wraps it around the board to Caleb Curl. Less than a minute remaining here in the first half of the second period. Comes back to Gallant, bouncing puck. Cyrus is right there. Bouncing puck again, and glove down by Cameron Cyrus with 44.2 seconds left here in the first half of the second period. And leading the second half of this game, we're going to talk a little bit about your career as well. I'm fascinated by your professional career. I'm very fascinated by it. Well, we're going to talk about that in a second now. I've been saving that on purpose. So I'm very fascinated by it, just so you know.
Okay.
Face off, won by DeFore. Sends it back over to Ashley. Wraps it around for Carter Holbrook. Holbrook now to Timothy Boyd. Boyd knocked away by Blake Brackett. Now Brackett off to the races. Blake Brackett with a shot up high. Saved by Nelson. Nice job by Thomas Ashley to prevent the outright breakaway by Blake Brackett.
And that's what I mean about when you play Columbus. You're not going to get those odd man situations. So everything's going to be a one-on-one, two-on-two. They do such a good job from the offensive zone, transitioning into defense and making sure they get numbers coming back. And they do a very good job of keeping you to the outside.
Jacobson wins the draw. LeGros with a shot. Just missed the corner. Picked up by Cameron Schaefer. Another recent call-up from the Metro Jets Elite program. Giovanni Valentine with a puck. Knocked off the puck there by Ryan Jacobson. Comes back to Luska. Luska now to LeGros. Jacobson brings it out. Ryan Jacobson. Played a couple games. Now penalty coming as Boyd knocks Jacobson to the ice with 7.7 seconds left. 2-minute monitor for interference. MJDP, unless they score here in 7.7 seconds, will start the second half of this game on the power play.
And on some fresh ice, too, so that'll be a benefit for them.
Timothy Boyd, the 19-year-old from Yorkville, Illinois, played last year with the Chicago Cougars Elite, was a teammate with Paulie Yuzushinis on the Cougars Elite squad. 7.7 seconds left here in the first half of the second period. Won by Gamelin, picked up by Badurka. Not much time as Badurka's shot was blocked by Ashley, and the horn sounds to end the first half of the second period. Giovanni Valentine, say that 3 times fast. His 22nd goal of the season from Alexander Brown and Brian McConaughey, 149, has given the Mavericks a 1-0 lead heading into the halfway break. Shots on goal in the first half of the second period. MJDP was 6, first half total of 11. Columbus Mavericks with 9, first half total of 18. We'll take a short break, about 7-8 minutes or so. Come back for a first half recap and start the second period, second half of this game. You're watching day 2 of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase live exclusively on Black Bear TV. And welcome back to Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Day number 2 of the 2025 United States Premier Hockey League Detroit Showcase. Game number 2 here in the primary Jets rink. The score at the end of the first half, the Columbus Mavericks 1, the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 0. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club, joined for this game by General Manager, Head Coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, Lee Lansdowne. Also, Matt Naiman, our Black Bear TV broadcast producer and normal color analyst at our normal home games of the Metro Jets Hockey Club, manning the controls at the camera while his son, Tyler Naiman, takes a nap. He's tired. Isn't he, Matt? He's taking a nap, isn't he? Yeah. He's getting some food. He's already ate most. Where's our cookies, by the way? Oh, they're right here. Yeah, we got cookies. If you want a cookie, Lee, you're more than welcome to it. Oh, we got coffee coming, too. Kathy Peacock, the mom of Metro Jets goaltender Evan Peacock, who is starting today against the Charlotte Rush. Against Lasse Sorensen. That should be a heck of a goaltender matchup in the next game. But Evan's mom, Kathy, always brings us coffee from Tim Hortons.
You guys are well taken care of.
Oh, my gosh. Grandma Peacock brought us cookies. Sutton Majeski's mom brought us cookies. I mean, we are fed and watered up here, I'm telling you.
Well, you guys put in a shift. I saw you when I first walked in here yesterday around, I think we got in around noon, and then you were still doing the game there for the college game, and that ended around 9:30. So.
Yep. Had 4 yesterday, got 4 today. And speaking of 4, the next game is the Metro Jets and the Charlotte Rush, 12:30 p.m. Yours truly on the call. Looking forward to that game, the Metro Jets Charlotte Rush. That's just you wouldn't think of it as a rivalry per se, but when the Jets and the Rush get together, my goodness, it's almost like Metro Toledo on steroids.
Yeah, all these top teams want to prove their point, right? They want to prove, because we don't get the opportunity to see each other other than these showcases. So you get to prove your point mid-season about top teams in each division playing each other. It's a great opportunity, and I look forward to watching it as we get our guys ready to play after them.
And you guys have a game today? You guys are playing?
We play Chicago T-Rex right after that game. Yep.
Perhaps a little revenge game for the Cyclones coming off the Fort Wayne Showcase.
Yeah.
I called that game. I remember well.
Yeah. It was a close game, but we did not have our best night. And then that game winner was one that we like to forget. And
I won't bring it up. I won't bring it up.
But no, it's a huge one for us. I mean, we're unfortunately at the wrong end of the division standings right now. And after Fresh Coast had a good win this morning, we've got to go try and hunt them down. And we've got to try and get our 2 points today.
Yeah, indeed. Earlier today, game 1 today, the Fresh Coast Freeze rallying back to defeat the Chicago Cougars by a score of 6-4. They were down 4-1 at one point rallied back to take the win.
Look at the scoring. 1-0 Fresh Coast in the first.
Yeah.
Chicago take the second 4-1, and Fresh Coast come back with 4 unanswered.
Yeah, Fresh Coast rallying back. Charlie Huntoon with a game winner. So congratulations to Fresh Coast Freeze, our good buddy, the voice of the Freeze. Aaron Poling was on the call of that game. He was just happier than a clam, I tell you what.
I'm sure. I mean, they have come so far in the 2 seasons that they've been. I know they had a tough one last year, but to see how far they've come this year is great.
Yeah, they have over doubled their win output from the entire last season.
Yep, you can't. Any team that takes them lightly anymore is going to be in trouble.
Oh, no doubt about it. As second period underway, second half of the second period, we should say, underway. Yeah, with that win, Fresh Coast doubled their win output from 1 year ago. That was their 6th win of the season. They won 3 last year. But yeah, Fresh Coast is going to be definitely a team to keep an eye on, a team you have played before. As second half of the second period of this one, a close one, 1-0 score. MJDP starts on the power play. Fournier with a shot, sticked away there by Kai Nelson.
Got to get more traffic in front. If Nelson sees it, he's going to stop it from up the top.
As Timothy Boyd, 2-minute monitor for interference towards the end of the first half of the second period is the reason why MJDP is on the power play for the second time today. They're 0 for 1. Still got 39 seconds left in this one. And Alex Fournier to Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc now to Yuzushinis. Paulius Yuzushinis now over to Fournier. Steps up. Fire save made. As LeBlanc trying to knock it out of midair. The puck driven down into the MJDP zone. Yuzushinis off to the races there with a 13 of Ian Buswell. Wraps it around the boards for Smith, who kicks it up to Chris Kobayashi, who lost it in the skates. And Alexander Brown dumps it in. Brown is third season with the Columbus Mavericks. A former Cincinnati Bearcat,
yes.
ACHA Division II.
Yep. My first year, we tried to, once we knew that he was leaving the UC team, we showed our interest, but unfortunately for us, he went to that great opportunity.
Two big saves there by Kai Nelson. Yuzushinis with a shot, LeBlanc on the rebound, and Kai Nelson came to play here this morning, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's another great example of his lateral control. Just staying calm, staying square, getting back on angle, okay, and making the easy routine save, but following up and tracking his rebound, staying visually connected there. Great job by Nelson.
6:19 to go here in the second period. Columbus up 1-0 on the goal by Giovanni Valentine. Just a minute 49 of the first period. That's been the only goal scored in this game. Since then, it has been a lockdown defensive struggle between these two clubs. As Ledjovokov over to Brackett. Brackett a little too far for Rabone. It was sent right back into the MJDP zone. Yuzushinis will grab it. Knocks it away. Not out. Kept in by Zavello. Tried to feed it to McConaughey. Now Aiden Rabone up to Brackett. Too far for Brackett. And Valentine will send it right back in. Over into the corner. Ledjovokov will grab it. For Aiden Rabone, the former Atlanta Mad Hatter. Looking for Blake Brackett. Too far for him. Zavello back over to Valentine. Giovanni Valentine, the former Neshannock Lancer in the Pennsylvania high school hockey ranks. Was a leading scorer his junior and senior years before coming to the Mavericks. And now Valentine, his third season, second full season with the Mavericks. And he has been, we've talked about him to the point of nauseum today, but Giovanni Valentine, he deserves the accolades.
Yeah, and I can't even begin to think how many of those points he's had against us. But again, you fall asleep on Gio for more than 2 minutes here, you're going to be in trouble.
And Mrs. Peacock delivers. Would you like a coffee, sir?
I am fine, thank you.
All right, look at this. More cookies. Oh, my goodness. We got coffees. Oh, my. So we got to adjust here a little bit. We got coffees galore. We got more cookies that we know what to do with here, up here in the booth. I have to admit, Lee, we are absolutely spoiled here with the Jets.
But you guys earn it. You guys earn it for sure.
4:30 to go here in the second period. Picked up by Caleb Curto, was knocked away. Goes back through the legs of Wade, but knocked away by Carter Holbrook. Matt Naiman, there's a coffee behind you. Might as well give Mike Sutton a coffee, too. No, don't. He don't get a coffee? All right. Schaefer sends it up. LeGros sends it in. Caleb Curto grabs it. Curto now with some room with a shot going down. Rebound
Great
comes
save.
out. Badurka's there. Puck is loose. Not sure where it's at. There it is. As Nelson didn't know where it was. Nobody knew where it was for a few seconds. And picked up there by Brian Savage. Savage, the former Olentangy Liberty Patriot, won a 2023 state championship in the Ohio High School Athletic Association with the Patriots. Over the game looking for Badurka, who was wrapped up by Ashley. Ashley grabs it, wraps it around the boards, over for Timothy Boyd. Knocks it into the neutral zone. Boscovich, bouncing puck on Nelson, who blockers it away. Picks up by Ashley over to Ben Marcourt. Marcourt not out, kept in by Boscovich. Ashley gets a second chance. He'll knock it off the boards. And now Savage goes after it. Pressure there by Alex Fournier. And Fournier able to grab it. Now over to Clovis Gamelin. Gamelin his second year with MJDP. Over to Badurka, also in his second year with MJDP. Back to Gamelin, looking for Benavidez, who was wrapped up by Marcourt. Bouncing puck comes back over to Mario Boscovich. To Lucas Benavidez. Played this year in the 2025 Amerigold LATAM Cup.
Too many.
Yes, indeed. Yep, too many men on the ice for MJDP. But to finish off with Benavidez, played for Central America's team in the 2025 Amerigold LATAM Cup, and that's how the Jets organization discovered him. He was the leading scorer for Central America. 4 games played, 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points. Previous to that was Archbishop McCarthy Maverick in the Florida high school hockey rank, was the leading scorer. Discovered him at the LATAM Cup, and now he's a member of the Metro Jets development program.
I noticed him yesterday, too. I thought he had a strong game yesterday. I think he keeps things very simple, but that's, at our level, I think that's a good thing. He didn't overcomplicate anything, but he was effective for sure.
Bench minor for too many men on the ice on MJDP, and that puts the Mavericks back in the power play for the 3rd time. They're 0 for 2 today.
Their power play is usually very strong, so MJDP's got to survive this one.
Jacobson off to the races with Thomas Ashley, and Ashley beats him to the punch. Otherwise, Jacobson may have had a chance. Boyd brings it out and sends it across over to Brian Savage. Savage now. Top of the face-off circle, sets it up to a wide open Thomas Ashley, but a shot saved by Cyrus. Rebound, another save by Cyrus. Savage now back to Brown. Brown with a shot into the big paw of Cameron Cyrus with 2:25 to go here in the 2nd period. So, Lee, I'm dying to know. You had, like I said, quite the interesting. For those that don't know, you were a very good goaltender in your playing days. Tell us a little bit about your playing days.
So I grew up playing in England. I was lucky and fortunate enough to represent my country and play for my country. And back then the English hockey wasn't maybe as strong as it is now. It's definitely grown a lot. So I was fortunate enough to kind of get some professional opportunities at the age of 15. And my coach then helped me come out over here. Actually, interestingly enough, Darcy Cahill, who's now helps Columbus Mavericks, he helped me come on out. And once I came out, I played 4 years of juniors over in the States, went back home to play some of the pro hockey back in England, and then ended up with the ECHL team in Cincinnati. And it was an amazing opportunity to be with them, and back then it was affiliated with Montreal and Nashville. And yeah, it was a great experience. Won 2 Kelly Cups during that time. So yeah, it was, a great opportunity for me to, kind of, obviously some luck along the way, but got the opportunity to come out here and play some hockey. And as soon as that finished, I got onto the coaching side, and we had a guy named Don Biggs back in the day, and a great person to learn from, and then just stuck with it. And now I'm back with the 3rd year of the junior team here. I did some junior coaching probably 10, 15 years ago when it was back in the NA3 days. But yeah, it's crazy how the hockey world works, and how I see people that I was playing against or playing with in England that are out here now, and you even see some English guys are scattered around the USPHL Premier now too. So it's good to see the English guys coming over here and getting their opportunities like I had mine, we'll say quite a while ago.
And for those that didn't know, you are from England. What is your hometown?
Swindon. It's about 100 miles southwest of London.
Well, it is a real privilege. As the horn sounds here at the end of the 2nd period, it's a real privilege to have you up here. I was a fan, just so you know, when you played in the ECHL, so I was a fan. So this is a real treat for me, Lee. I thank you so much. We got one more period to go, as we're still locked down 1-0 going into the 3rd period. Shots on goal in the 2nd period. MJDP with 12, 2-period total of 17. Columbus with 12, 2-period total of 21. Still that 1 goal at the 149 mark. Giovanni Valentine from Alexander Brown and Brian McConaughey. And since then, it's been a lockdown defensive goaltenders duel between Columbus and MJDP.
It's been a lot of the play in the offensive zone's been pretty perimeter. There's been some scrambles in front, and both goalies have answered to those situations. But for the most part, the scoring chances aren't normally what I see when we play Columbus, obviously MJDP are very well coached, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Big push from MJDP in the last, or can Columbus add to their lead here and start to pull away?
The Columbus Mavericks, representing the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division, play their home games at the Ohio Health Schiller Ice Rinks North in Lewis Center, Ohio, about 15 minutes north of the Buckeye State capital city of Columbus. They are the designated home team for this game, wearing the blue uniforms, white, gray, and green trim. They'll be skating right to left on your television screen, while the Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP, play their home games right here, Mount Clemens Ice Arena here in Mount Clemens, Michigan. We're located about 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit. Represent the USPHL Premier Midwest Division. They are the designated road team for this game, wearing the white uniforms, blue shoulders, and red trim. They're skating left to right on your Black Bear TV dial, whether it's your Android, your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, your big screen TV. However, and wherever you're watching us, you just watch Cameron Cyrus make a couple big saves. And even in the lobby, they can hear us in the lobby this weekend with the speakers blaring out. We certainly appreciate you tuning in, whether it's here in the building or worldwide. We can't thank you enough for tuning in to the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase from Mount Clemens Ice Arena. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club, alongside Lee Lansdowne, General Manager, Head Coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones. Glad you're spending your morning with us as we work into the afternoon hours. If you had some Tim Hortons coffee, or the case may be, I'm working on coffee number 3 now, thanks to Kathy Peacock and the Peacock family. As Holbrook trying to feed it across, knocked away by Kobayashi, now picked up by Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc trying to knock it away, and he does. Send it across over for the 53 of John Legibokov, who dumps the puck in. Picked up there by Thomas Ashley. Ashley now set it up, was looking for Holbrook, instead found Cameron Schaefer. And Clovis Gaiman comes to bail his teammate out, and here goes Daniel Luska over to Lucas Benavidez. Benavidez tried to sidestep Ashley, but knocked him to the ice. And Ashley dumps it right back in. Bouncing puck on right pad save by Cyrus. Had to make the quick leg there as Badurka now brings it out. Noah Badurka, point in 6 straight games. The last 5, he has scored 10 points. He has been on a tear. And Lee Lansdowne did not want to hear that.
No, I'll remember that name. We'll see him again there in the next showcase.
In Chicago, yes.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on Badurka here and making sure, trying our best to keep him off the score sheet.
Yes, indeed. MJDP will play your Cincinnati Cyclones at the USPHL Chicago Showcase on Sunday, December 14th, 10:30 a.m. face-off. I'm hoping to be on the call for that game. We'll see. I'm working out my Chicago Showcase schedule later today, so we'll see. We'll see if I can work my way in there. But I certainly appreciate the Chicago Cougars, Chicago Crush, Chicago T-Rex, the tri-hosts of the Chicago Showcase for the invite to come out. Certainly appreciative. As Valentine brings it in.
Looked offside.
Offside. Yep. Probably could have drove a car through there as far as offside as that was. 14:21 to go. So being from England, you guys drove the opposite side of the road. How much of an adjustment was that being in the United States?
I didn't drive back home. I was too young before I came, because the driving age is 17 back home. So I came out when I was 17. So
you never had that experience of driving on the opposite side.
Well, I finally got to take my wife and kids home to England a couple of years ago and drove in England for the first time then. And, yeah, it was an adjustment for sure.
Yeah, left is right, right is left, everything's backwards. Yeah,
we do it the right way.
Ah, is that what it is? Okay. Liam Wade brings it out. McConaughey now with the puck. Sidesteps Landon Graham. He'll bring it in. McConaughey with a deflection there by Brown and a pass saved by Cameron Cyrus. Valentine with a shot blocked there. Another shot, but save made off the skate.
Cyrus is giving his team a chance here.
Rabone sends it in on Kai Nelson, picked up by Zavella. Both goaltenders have played outstanding this morning. Pass out in front, knocked away by Zavella. Now Alexander Brown will grab it. Brown brings it in with a shot. Just missed the top corner and goes crashing hard into the boards. Him and Alex Fournier collided, and Brown is slow to get up.
Hopefully he's okay here. He's back up and going.
Yeah, he presence of mind to at least get on side before heading to the bench. Now here's LeGros, too far for Graham, picked up by Brackett. Blake Brackett with a shot into the glove of Kai Nelson, who hangs on with 12:51 to go here in the third period.
Columbus do such a good job of this. When they got those narrow leads going into the third, they keep that third guy high. You know, if you get the puck back out into the neutral zone, they're going to get the red, put it back deep, make you come 200 feet every single time. They do a very good job of this, locking it down in the third.
Face off to the right of goaltender Kai Nelson, his blocker side. Good draw win there by Brian Savage. Ashley tried to send it up to Ben Marcourt. Bouncing puck into the glove of Cameron Cyrus, who wisely hangs on with 12:41 to go here in the third period.
But again, going back to my point, it's a face-off in Columbus's D-zone there, and in the matter of 4 or 5 seconds, they flip the rink. Now it's 200 feet away from their net. That's where they want to play the remainder of this period.
To me, face-offs are the most underrated stat in hockey. And I say that because you win the face-off, you got possession.
Yeah, it's 60 to 70 opportunities a game to start with possession instead of the other team.
Liam Smith with the puck. Case in point, MJDP won the face-off there, and a bouncing puck goes wide, brought it down the other end of the zone. Now they have an opportunity here in the Maverick zone, picked up by Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc now over to Yezusianis, who's pinching in. He decides to shoot. Save made. Stick save. Paddle save. Yezusianis gets it back. He'll step up. Lobs it over for Lejabokov. Shot didn't get all the way through. And Yezusianis will grab it. Sends it up for Liam Smith. Knocked away there. Now picked up by Aaron Gallant. Gallant brings it in. Gallant pressured there. Nice block by Lejabokov. Waiting for reinforcements from the Mavericks as they're in the midst of a line change. Echo still with a shot off the helmet of Cyrus. That's one way to use your head, is use Yezusianis. A little bit of help from Lejabokov.
Cyrus's strap's broken on his helmet here.
And you see that, yeah, good eye on that. As picked up by Liam Smith. Smith, as we mentioned, call up from the elite squad, the 18-year-old from Flagstaff, Arizona, up to Chris Kobayashi. Kobayashi sends it in, picked up by Dennis Hornet. Hornet off the boards. Gets a little bit of help from Hornet. And Luska feeds it up for Cameron Schaefer. Schaefer looking for Kobayashi, instead found Hornet. Hornet now brings it in around Cameron Schaefer. Looking for DeFore in front of the net, the former Vernal Oiler. Sends it up, was for Holbrook with a shot, and he scores! Carter Holbrook, top shelf, over the left shoulder of Cameron Cyrus. And Carter Holbrook makes it 2-0.
Another benefit of keeping that third guy high is he finds that soft area of the ice there. They win it below the goal line, dish it out to that third guy high. Great shot. Not much Cyrus can do there.
Carter Holbrook, the 17-year-old from Johnstown, Ohio, just picked up his 4th goal of the season. And the Mavericks with a 2-0 lead. On the assist from Dennis Hornet at 6:06. Big goal for the Columbus Mavericks. Picked up there by Fleming Schott. Cyrus makes the save with 10:36 to go here in the third period.
And you can see kind of the showcase brand of hockey now, how things kind of slow down and simplify with the 4 games in 3 days. It makes it tough. And
especially, is it in the back of the minds of the Mavericks, general manager, head coach Joey Rechtenwald, to start thinking about Charlotte? Or are they 100% on this game?
I think they're probably 100% on this game right now. You know, this can be a big 2 points for Columbus, especially in that tight battle at the top of the Great Lakes Division. I think they're focused on getting their 2 points here, and then they'll worry about Charlotte later.
Boscovich defended in by Curto. A win here would put the Mavericks 4 points above the Toledo Cherokee, as the Cherokee will play later today. But, however, the Cherokee with 3 games in hand.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight down the stretch for sure.
And we get to the point of the season where Columbus and Red River had a lot of games in the early part of the season.
Yes.
And now everyone's starting to catch up to them. And the case in point with the Red River Spartans, they will hit the halfway point of their entire season this week here at the Detroit Showcase.
Yeah, we're in that same boat too. This season seems to have flown by.
Yeah, your game today will mark the halfway
Yep.
point of your season.
Yep.
And the thing with the Red River Spartans, who play tonight against the Bearcats Hockey Club at 8:30 p.m., December 21st is the Spartans' last home game of the season. They spend January and February, the rest of the year, on the road.
Yeah, I know it was tough for them with a few things that happened throughout the league and Evansville and teams like that folding. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Here goes Gio.
Valentine around Lejabokov. Rebound comes
goal.
out. No goal. As the net come off the moorings as Valentine went crashing in with Lejabokov. Cyrus lost his glove. There's debris everywhere.
But that's what makes Gio so dangerous too, is not only can he shoot the puck if you give him time and space, he uses that size, that strength to get to the net there. He did a good job driving the back post. Cyrus answered, but Gio's just he's a goal scorer.
Incidentally, the Toledo Cherokee will play the Chicago Crush today. Your Cincinnati Cyclones play the Chicago T-Rex. And we were talking about the Spartans not having a home game after December 21st. That's nothing compared to the Chicago Cougars and Chicago Crush last year, who didn't have a single home game all year.
Yeah, that's wild. That's tough on those guys. But part of our level is guys learning to go through adversity, and that's some adversity for sure.
And it makes the fact that the Chicago Crush Elite went all the way to the USPHL National Championships despite not having a single home game, makes that so remarkable.
Yeah, and I know Phil Bushbacher there. He does a pretty good job, helping build that program. And I know he's got some good players over there from seeing the guys over at the Fort Wayne Showcase. So
there is a game going on next door on Rink 2 in USPHL Elite play. As the voice of the Toledo Cherokee, Zeke Fravor on the call. Oh, wrong date. No wonder I couldn't find it. Play continues in the Columbus zone. The game next door. Charlotte Rush up 3-0 over the Chicago Cougars at the halfway break.
Oh, look at the shots on goal, 35-3.
Wow. Shot there saved by Cyrus. And it makes me want to look at that here for a second. Wow, that's a lot of shots. Charlotte Rush out shooting the Chicago Cougars Elite 35-3. As Chicago Cougars goaltender Aiden Wagner is going to work.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a lot of shots. My goodness. Speaking of shots, Columbus out shooting the MJDP 7-3 in this period, 28-20 overall. Marquardt with a shot up high. At some point, MJDP's got to start thinking about taking some chances they normally wouldn't think about.
And this is what Columbus have done. We've been 2-0 up on Columbus a few times this year, and they fight back into the game, and by the third period, they're up, and this is what they do. They just, they wait for you to take the chances. They got such a goal-scoring threat that they're going to capitalize. If you leave that space in behind, they're going to go take advantage and continue to build on that lead.
Marquardt through center ice. He'll dump the puck in.
Oh.
Bouncing puck on Cyrus. As he'll wrap it around the boards for Liam Smith. Smith now too far for Kobayashi. Turnover to Eggleston. Thomas Eggleston was looking for Marquardt. Instead found Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc will bring it out now. The 17-year-old from St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, Canada. Lost it there to Timothy Boyd. Boyd will just dump it in. 6:30 to go here in the third period as Cyrus covers, forcing a stoppage of play.
Columbus just grinding down that clock, play by play.
Face off to the left of goaltender Cameron Cyrus, who has played extremely well.
Oh, yeah. He's given them a chance to win, for sure, especially late in the second, early in the third. He was making some big saves.
And shot goes up in the rafters and out of play.
And Nelson's done a great job his end, too. Everything that he's meant to do, every stop he's meant to make, he's made it. And he's gave him a few big ones along the way, too.
Nelson has stopped over all 20 shots he has faced. His counterpart, Cameron Cyrus, has stopped 26 of the 28 shots he has faced. It's been a good goaltender battle between Kai Nelson of the Columbus Mavericks, Cameron Cyrus of MJDP. Badurka was looking for Yazushines, was knocked away by Gallant. He'll feed it back over to John Lejabokov. Lejabokov over to Clovis Galen. Galen tried to feed it back to Badurka. Noah Badurka, yesterday's overtime hero, over to Cincinnati Cyclones. I'm sorry, Lee. Feeds it back over to Yazushines. Over to Lejabokov. MJDP slowing things down a little bit as they bring it over to Badurka with a shot, sticked away by Nelson. Benavidez tried to feed it back to Badurka, found Timothy Boyd instead. Comes back to Gallant. Here's Yusuf, nice play to keep it in. Surrounded by two different Mavericks as Gallant knocks him to the ice and grabs the puck and just lobs it down to the MJDP zone. 5:15 to go here in the third period. Time running out for MJDP, who trail 2-0 on goals by Giovanni Valentine and Carter Holbrook. As Brian McConaughey dumps the puck in, Cyrus will play it. Pokes it ahead, looking for Ben McLean. Found Alexander Brown instead, as Cameron Schaefer wraps it around the boards, not out. Kept in by Ori Moss-Reynolds. For Giovanni Valentine, knocked away there by Blake Brackett. Brackett knocks into the neutral zone, right in front of the MJDP bench, and Aiden Rabone digs it out. Pressure off the puck there by Dennis Hornay. Now McConaughey grabs it. McConaughey almost turned it over, and he did, but we're able to regroup. And now McConaughey will bring it in. Offside, the call. 4:32 to go here in the third period.
Columbus just locking up the neutral zone right now, not giving MJDP many options to come through and gain the offensive zone.
Coming up here in about 30 minutes from now, it'll be the highlight game of Day 2, the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase. A battle between a couple of titans in the USPHL Premier, the Metro Jets and the Charlotte Rush. 12:30 p.m. as Cyrus makes the save. Pretty sure you're going to stick around and watch that a little bit because you're the game after that.
Yeah, we'll be watching. I'm trying to keep my guys focused on their job instead of watching that game.
Right. As the Cyclones have a date with the Chicago T-Rex today at 2:30. The voice of the Toledo Cherokee, Zeke Fravor, will be on the call of that game. I get a little break.
Yeah,
finally.
Probably need one, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get some food, going to relax a little bit, maybe take a nap in the office. Fleming threw a screen, and Cyrus made the save. McConaughey, now it knocked away. Curto over to Ryan Jacobson. Jacobson lost it in his skates. McConaughey now back to Valentine. Kicks it over inadvertently to McConaughey. Tried to sidestep Schaefer, who had no part of that, and dumps it back in the neutral zone. Valentine back to McConaughey, pickpocketed by Ryan Jacobson. Now to Caleb Curto. Curto gets the puck in. Looking for Landon Graham. Graham to Schaefer, who couldn't stick to the puck. Kobayashi with a big hit. Picked up by Daniel Luska. Over to Cameron Schaefer. Time winding down for MJDP. Trailing 2-0. Schaefer now to Liam Smith, who kicks it in the neutral zone. Eggleston sends it right back in. 3:20 to go here in the third period. Savage over to Eggleston, knocked away by Schaefer and blocked by Luska. Up to Thomas LeBlanc. LeBlanc now to Kobayashi. Kobayashi trying to split the knee. Gets a little bit of help from Liam Smith with a shot. Toe save by Kai Nelson. Nelson has been good today for the Columbus Mavericks. Alex Fournier with a deflection and deflected up in and out of play. And a lucky fan from Sunbury, Ohio picks up a souvenir puck.
It is a good crowd today.
It is.
It is. Wonder how many people are getting here early to watch the next one.
Well, they're here for this one, and they're going to stay for the next one, and then they're all going to stay for the one after that, you know. Picked up by Ashley, who sends it in. Bouncing puck into the glove of Cameron Cyrus with 2:52 to go. At what point, as a head coach, you're down 2-0, 2:52 to go. At what point do you call Cyrus to the bench?
Well, I mean, obviously it's situational here, but with Columbus just hemming MJDP in their own end right now, they got to flip the rink, get it down, and you're probably looking to get him out relatively quick here. Let's see if they look now.
And Cyrus is looking towards the bench with MJDP now in the Mavericks defensive zone. Badurka kicks it over to Boscovich. Boscovich shot blocked there by Carter Holbrook, who made this game 2-0. Boscovich sends it to Alex Fournier. His older brother Enric will be playing in the next game.
So nice.
Indeed it is, and Jake Howie not going to be happy about that. You know what's big when all three head coaches are behind the bench right now.
Yep.
You got Jake Howie, got Danny Vanderwill, head coach of the league. You even got Jamie Lovell on the bench too.
Yeah, and Cyrus just kind of gestured over to the bench there, but I don't think, just watching the bench as they were coming through the neutral zone there, none of the coaches really looked towards Cyrus, so maybe they're not looking to get him just yet.
Important draw win by MJDP as Fournier up to Noah Badurka. Badurka bouncing puck goes wide. Picked up by Luke Fleming. Fleming had it knocked away, kept in by Fournier. Fournier with a shot blocked there by Savage. And now picked up by Aaron Gallant, who skates through center ice. Gallant will just lob it in, kills off some valuable seconds. Fournier lost the wheel, but Boscovich able to bail out his teammate. Boscovich now to Clovis Gamelin. Gamelin cross ice to Alex Fournier. Fournier will bring it in. Leaves it for Lucas Benavidez. Benavidez dumps it in the corner. Pressured there by Luke Fleming. Fleming and Benavidez couldn't keep the puck in the zone. Minute 30 to go here in the third period. Benavidez over to Yazushines. Paulie Yazushines through center ice. Cyrus looking to the bench.
Yeah, here we go.
Jake Howie is waiting. Jake Howie's got the hand out. And waiting for MJDP to get possession and control before he brings Cyrus to the bench.
Here he goes.
And here he comes. Cyrus heads to the bench. Actually, empty net to our left. Yazushines with a shot. Blocker to side by Nelson. Extra attacker on the ice. Time winding down. Picked up by Zavella. Picked up by Brackett. Brackett takes the puck from him. Blake Brackett, 1 minute left to go. And Ben Marcourt will just lob it down. Nice, smart play to try to negate the icing, but not good enough. It was a smart play, but just a little too hard on the lob in.
Yeah, we'll see if MJDP take their timeout or if they try and take advantage of Columbus having some tired guys on the ice right now.
50.3 seconds to go. And with the icing infraction, Columbus not able to change. And indeed, Joey Rechtenwald with the timeout signal. I was thinking he was going to do it. And indeed, Joey Rechtenwald calls a timeout, gives his boys a rest. He's got a lot of his big dogs out there, so he wants to give them a little bit of rest, a little bit of breather. With 50.3 seconds to go here in the third period.
And the game kind of went more so how I imagined, with just again going back to Columbus's defensive attributes and how strong they are defensively. They're so hard to get on the inside of. And Nelson's done a good job when they have got inside. So, yeah, Columbus are top of the division for a reason, and today they've shown that.
50.3 seconds. Shots on goal so far. MJDP was 6 with a total of 23. Columbus with 9 with a total of 30. And not taking away anything from Cameron Cyrus. 30 shots, 28 saves. But his counterpart, Kai Nelson, has come to play today. 23 shots, 23 saves.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Just made everything look routine. Good edges, good control, staying organized, and controlled his rebounds well. Maybe one there in the second where he gave up a rebound, but his D would have to help and box out.
Looking to see. Nelson is 50.3 seconds away. Don't want to jinx him or anything, but but he is 50.3 seconds away from a milestone.
Yes.
You never want to say that. I know that. I was a goalie too. You never want to say what we're thinking, but Face off deep in the Maverick zone. 50.3 seconds left. Important draw win for the Mavericks. Holbrook trying to get it out. Kept in. Mounting block into the paraphernalia of Kai Nelson, who hangs on with 43.2 seconds left.
Good job getting the puck to the net. Got to get more bodies there, though. Nelson's already shown if he's seen it, he's going to stop it.
They'll try it again. Clovis Gamelin against Brian McConaughey. Gamelin wins the draw that time. Berderka overskated the puck, picked up by Holbrook. Gamelin keeps it in. Over to Daniel Luska. Luska feeds it across over to Fournier. Fournier back to Luska. Luska fires, blocked by McConaughey. And Holbrook, wide shot. Instead of just going for the net, just kill time. No icing call. Kills off valuable seconds. Picked up by Berderka, taken away by McConaughey. Empty net, and he scores.
Ices it.
And that's going to do it. Brian McConaughey with the dagger to MJDP. And the Columbus Mavericks will go 2-0 this weekend here at the USPHL Detroit Showcase. As McConaughey, the 20-year-old from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, his 10th goal of the season. And the Columbus Mavericks, big win here against one of the tri-hosts of the USPHL Detroit Showcase.
They did a great job. They deserve this one for sure. They limited MJDP to their opportunities, took advantage of their chances when they got them. So, absolutely, I think Columbus deserved the 2 points here.
So McConaughey with the goal as the time will wind down. McConaughey's 10th from Ethan DeFore and Timothy Boyd. And the horn sounds. Final score, Columbus Mavericks 3, MJDP 0. Shutout victory for Kai Nelson, his first career shutout in his junior hockey career.
Yep, congratulations to him.
Shots on goal in the third period. MJDP was 7, game total of 24. Columbus Mavericks with 10, game total of 31. 2 goals in that third period. Carter Holbrook is 4th from Dennis Hornet at 6:06, and then Brian McConaughey iced it with the empty net goal from Ethan DeFore and Timothy Boyd. And that's going to do it. Final score. There we go. Final score, Columbus Mavericks 3, Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 0. Your Troy Oral Surgery Player of the Game. 24 shots, 24 saves. Columbus Mavericks goaltender Kai Nelson is your Troy Oral Surgery Player of the Game. One of our favorite things is the Play for Bray prayer circle, and it's so cool, especially now when you see the opposing team jump in. It's just one of the most heartwarming things to see. I mean, these two teams battled. It was a defensive battle, to say the least. Then after the game, you see the Play for Bray prayer circle in memory and honor of Braden Lewis. His number is retired in the rafters, number 47, who we lost a few years ago.
At the end, that's what it's about, right? The respect, and it's good to see.
No doubt. Your Troy Oral Surgery Player of the Game. 24 shots, 24 saves. His first career junior hockey shutout for the 19-year-old Columbus, Ohio native Kai Nelson, standing by when Mount Clemens Figure Skating Club on ice reporter Sarah Vassar. Look out behind you.
Thanks, Matt. All right, so Kai, you are our Troy Oral Surgery Player of the Game with a shutout. I believe it's the first of the showcase. How do you stay focused during that?
Well, the guys kept me in it. I just had to stay focused, keep it a 0-0 game in my head, just give it everything I have and stay with it the whole time.
So what do you think that your team did well in front of you today?
They did a great job keeping it to the outside and blocking shots. They really kicked it up from yesterday, so I'm really proud of them.
All right, well, great job. Thank you very much. Back up to you guys on the flight deck.
Thank you so much, Sarah. As Kai Nelson, his first career shutout, and as Sarah pointed out, great job, Sarah. First shutout of the weekend here at the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another one around 2:30 this afternoon.
Yes, indeed. Carson Balo in goal today?
Yes, Carson will go
good.
today.
Good. Enjoy seeing Carson.
Yep.
So,
very good.
Not to take anything away from Nigel Smith, who played outstanding yesterday.
No, I'm really happy with all three of our goaltenders this year. at this level, consistency is a challenge, and that's maybe what keeps them at the tier 3 level over moving up. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what Carson can do later on today.
Well, Lee Lansdowne, thank you so much. General Manager, head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, thank you for stopping up here to the flight deck and hanging out with us, calling the game with us. We certainly appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck this weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. against the Chicago Cougars.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for having me, and always a pleasure coming to Mount Clemens.
Coming up next, Metro Jets, Charlotte Rush, about 17 minutes from now. But a final score from game number 2 here in the primary arena, the Columbus Mavericks 3, Metro Jets Development Program, MJDP 0. You're watching day 2 of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase live exclusively on Black Bear TV. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish you a pleasant good afternoon once again from Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located approximately 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. The highlight game of day number 2, the 2025 United States Premier Hockey League Detroit Showcase. And this matchup, the one we've been waiting for. It is the Metro Jets who will face off against the Charlotte Rush. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club up high the flight deck. Looking forward to this one. When the Detroit Showcase schedule came out, this is the game that everybody had circled on their calendar, even more so than yesterday's Metro Toledo game. This is a marquee matchup of today in the entire USPHL Premier, and it features the 7th ever matchup between the Metro Jets and the Charlotte Rush. The Metro Jets skated yesterday to a 3-2 victory over the Toledo Cherokee, currently 3rd in the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division, 13 wins, 3 losses, no overtime losses, 1 shootout loss for 27 points. Winners of the last two, 8-1-0-1 in their last 10 games. This is also the second game of the weekend for the Charlotte Rush, who kicked off the showcase yesterday with a 6-3 victory over the Battle Creek Colonels. They are currently second in the USPHL Premier Southeast Division. Record of 11 wins, 5 losses, 3 overtime losses, 1 shootout loss, good for 26 points. On that 1-game winning streak, from yesterday's win, a 6-3-0-1 record in their last 10 games. Let's meet the players making an impact so far this season for both teams. We'll start it off with a designated home team, the Metro Jets, one of the tri-hosts of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase, and they are led by the number 20, the 19-year-old from Maribor, Slovenia, Luka Pivac, 16 goals, 15 assists, 31 points on the season for Pivac, as he will see the Charlotte Rush for the second time. Highest scorer amongst defensemen on the roster wears number 15 for the Metro Jets, the undisputed captain of the Jets, the 20-year-old from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. It is Jake Taylor, 2 goals, 28 assists, 30 points on the season for Taylor, now in his 4th year as part of the Metro Jets Hockey Club. Answering the call in goal this afternoon, wears number 90 for the Metro Jets, the 19-year-old from Carmel, Indiana. It's Evan Peacock. Peacock with a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, a .260 goals against average, a .915 save percentage. This will be Peacock's first time seeing the Charlotte Rush, as Peacock now in his 2nd season with the Metro Jets Hockey Club, spending last year with MJDP. He has now moved across the locker room to the Metro Jets, and the team he will face is the 2021 USPHL Premier National Champions, the Charlotte Rush, from the USPHL Premier Southeast Division. And they are led by the number 20 for the Rush, the 20-year-old from Saguenay, Quebec, Canada, Justin Gagnon. Gagnon, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points on the season for Gagnon, who wears number 20, had a couple of assists yesterday in that 6-3 victory over the Battle Creek Colonels. Leading scorer amongst defensemen on the roster wears number 44 for the Rush, the 20-year-old from Hellertown, Pennsylvania. It's Ryan Bonfrancisco. Bonfrancisco, 5 goals, 17 assists, 22 points on the season for Bonfrancisco. And answering the call in goal this afternoon, wears number 1 for the Charlotte Rush, the 18-year-old from Aalborg, Denmark. It's Lasse Sorensen. Sorensen, 6 wins, 2 losses, a .254 goals against average, an .895 save percentage for Sorensen. 2nd year in the USPHL Premier after spending last year with the Florida Junior Blades. It is Lasse Sorensen in goal for the Charlotte Rush. As for the rest of the starting lineup, on defense, the 18-year-old from Everson, Washington, the 21, Peyton Munger, and alongside him, the 20-year-old from Hellertown, Pennsylvania, the 44, Ryan Bonfrancisco. Starting at center, the 20-year-old of Chicago, Illinois, the 14 of Jake Malzone. On his left wing, the 20-year-old of Sundsvall, Sweden, the 47 of Victor Peterson. And on the right wing, the 20-year-old of South Glen Falls, New York, the 74, John Artardo. General manager, head coach of the Charlotte Rush is Trevor Jewell, his 10th season behind the bench for the Charlotte Rush. For the Metro Jets, as we mentioned, in goal, the 19-year-old from Carmel, Indiana, the number 90 of Evan Peacock. On defense, the 20-year-old from Port Huron, Michigan, the 4, Jake Blum, and alongside him, the 20-year-old from Boise Shadow, Quebec, Canada, the 21, Enric Fournier. Starting at center, the 20-year-old from Livonia, Michigan, the 89 of Aiden Sharon. On his left wing, the 19-year-old from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, the number 3, AJ Zakani. And on the right wing, the 20-year-old from Macomb, Michigan, the 51, Ryan Glomboski. Head coach of the Metro Jets is Jamie Lovell, his 10th season behind the bench. Warm-ups now complete as we get set to go. The marquee matchup of day number 2 of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase. Your referee is John Burnett. The linesman are Anthony Dana. Dan Oleski has the Metro Jets representing the USPHL Premier Great Lakes Division, one of the tri-hosts of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase. Play their home games right here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. We're located 30 minutes northeast of Motown, Detroit, in Mount Clemens, Michigan. They are the designated home team for this game, wearing the blue uniforms, white and red trim. They're skating right to left on your television screen, while the Charlotte Rush, the 2021 USPHL Premier National Champions, representing the USPHL Premier Southeast Division, play their home games at the Pineville Ice House in Pineville, North Carolina, about 15 minutes south of Charlotte. They are the designated road team for this game, wearing the white uniforms, red and black trim. They'll be skating left to right on your Black Bear television dials. We get set to go. This is the main event of day number 2 of the 2025 USPHL Detroit Showcase. Metro Jets, Charlotte Rush, and here we go. Sharon, one-on-one with Malzone, and Malzone wins the draw. We're underway. 8th ever meeting between the Charlotte Rush and the Metro Jets. And icing right away with 8 seconds gone here in the first period. These two teams last saw each other last season, at the 2025 USPHL Tampa Showcase at Advent Health Center Ice Arena in Wesley Chapel, Florida, home of the Tampa Bay Juniors. And Charlotte skating to the victory that day. As Charlotte in the zone, they've had a little bit of time to relax, to rest. They were the first game of the weekend yesterday against the Battle Creek Colonels. And picked up there by the 91 of Hunter Kersner. Kersner sends it back over to Adriano Bongiorno. Bongiorno now over, trying to feed it to Kianka. Merrick Kianka sticks it across over for Bongiorno, trying to feed it to Unger, but was knocked away by Sutton Majeski. Picked off there by Luka Pivets. Pivets now will bring it in. Long-range shot just past Sorensen. Pivets picking the pocket of the 24 of Dylan Perenjepi. And now here come the Rush the other way. Kianki with a shot, and it went through Peacock and scored. Charlotte strikes first. As Merrick Kianka opens the scoring for the Charlotte Rush. And Kianka, the 18-year-old from Trebek in Czechia, picks up his 6th goal of the season. The Charlotte Rush strike first. They lead 1-0, and Jamie Lovell wasting no time, pulling Evan Peacock. Just a minute, 28 seconds into the game, Jakub Obcheka checks in. So Obcheka, who was a goaltender of record yesterday, in the Jets' 3-2 victory over the Toledo Cherokee. has now checked into the game for the Metro Jets. As Merrick Kianka, his 6th goal of the season from Carson Unger, just a minute 27 into the first period. And that means Jakub Obcheka now in goal. Obcheka played, as we mentioned yesterday, against Toledo in that 3-2 victory by the Jets over the Cherokees, stopping 23 of 25 shots he faced and picking up the win over the Cherokee. Kind of a surprise move by head coach Jamie Lovell to pull Peacock, as Jakub Obcheka is now between the pipes for the Metro Jets. This could be an injury issue. We'll have to wait and see on that. We'll try to dig that out and come back with it with a clarification. But just one shot on goal, and Peacock sent to the bench. 1-0 score. Merrick Kianka, his 6th of the season from Carson Unger at 1:27, has given the Rush a 1-0 lead. Picked up by Isaac Bunk. Bunk now feeds it up to Jackson Stone. Stone now too far for Peeves, and Wyatt Gernert sends it in. Obcheka will play it for Tyler Fleming. Fleming now back to Isaac Bunk. Bunk will step it in for Coulter, who's knocked away. Now Sutton Majeski chops at it, picked up by Gabe Outman. Outman now knocked to the ice. Big hit there by Wyatt Gernert. And picked up by Ben Weisshire. Weisshire sends it across. Wyrick trying to get the pass from the 16 to Ariel David Elkin. And now here comes Evangelista for the Jets the other way. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Evangelista over to Owen Coulter with a shot. Was blocked there by the 21 of Peyton Munger. Puck comes across. As the Jets pressuring in the rush zone. To the right, a goaltender, Lasse Sorensen. It comes back to Jake Blum. Blum pressured by Landon German, the former Toledo Cherokee, who has seen a lot of time here at MCIA. And the puck goes down, icing the call. 13-12 to go here in the first period. So face off, deep in the Jet zone, will be to the left, a goaltender, Jakub Obcheka. Or Tim check that to the right. Late switch there. Face off. Won by the Jets, but picked up by John Attardo. Attardo had it knocked away. Shot there. It goes wide. Jake Malzone. Attardo grabs it. Pressured by Jake Blum. Seeing the stands starting to fill up a little bit. They're wrapped around the R right as Obcheka covers, forcing a stoppage of play. And while we have the chance, let's meet Jakub Obcheka. The 20-year-old goaltender from Zvolen, Slovakia, picked up the win yesterday. He's 3-1-0-1 with a .247 goals against average, a .907 save percentage coming into this game, including that 3-2 victory yesterday over the Toledo Cherokee. Previous to that, split time with HK Skalika and HKM Zvolen, U20 program in his native country of Slovakia. Combined 12 games played, a .192 goals against average, a .915 save percentage. He's finished the year with Skalika after spending 3 years with HKM Zvolen. Prior to that with HC Detva U20 program. And Zvolen's U18 program, all in his native country of Slovakia. First time in the United States, got to the United States about a month and a half ago, is settled in now here in a foreign country to Jakub Obcheka. Spell that last name O-B-Z-E-R-A. As Aiden Hartzell sends it in. Picked up by Wyatt Gernert. 1-0 score. Marek Kiyanka, his 6th of the season from Carson Unger, was the first shot of the game on starting goaltender Evan Peacock. Since then, Charlotte with 4 shots on goal. The Jets have yet to register a shot this game. Picked up by Gernert. Wyatt Gernert now with the puck. Bouncing puck on Chase Martin's stick. Martin now sends it across over to Isaac Bunk. Bunk sends it up to A.J. Zaccani, yesterday's Troy Oral Surgery player of the game. The Jets 3-2 victory over the Toledo Cherokee. Picked up by Chase Martin. Martin now lobs it in. Picked up by Gernert. Martin trying to keep it in. Couldn't do so. Picked up by Philippe Papchev. Papchev now. He was yesterday's Troy Oral Surgery player of the game for the Rush victory over the Battle Creek Colonels yesterday. The very first game of the showcase. A 6-2 triumph by the Rush over the Colonels. Shot there goes wide. And icing the call, 10:36 to go. Today's a doubleheader day for the Charlotte Rush. They will play the Columbus Mavericks later tonight at 6:30 p.m. Columbus coming off a 3-0 victory over MJDP and are 2-0 this weekend here at the USPHL Detroit Showcase. While the Metro Jets, they'll have tomorrow off before playing their doubleheader day on Monday, November 24th, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. against the Hershey Cubs, before coming back to wrap up the USPHL Detroit Showcase at 2:30 p.m. on Monday, and a date with the Chicago Crush. Puck comes across, picked up by Papchev. Papchev picked up the hat trick yesterday with a shot off the blocker, Jakub Upcheka. And here comes Sutton Majeski. Majeski with a goal yesterday. A.J. Zaccani picked up 2 in that 3-2 victory. Peeves misfired, tried to feed it over to Jackson Stone. Stone now to Majeski. Majeski feeds it across. Sorensen sticks that aside. Puck comes back to the corner. Tyler Fleming over to Jake Taylor. Taylor with a shot, and Sorensen covers. Let's meet Lasse Sorensen. The 18-year-old goaltender from Aalborg, Denmark, played last year with the Florida Junior Blades in the USPHL Premier and as well as the Elite program. Last year, 15 games played, a .590 goals against average, .862 save percentage. Prior to that, Springfield Junior Picks, U16 AAA program, the Hockey Federation, represented his native country of Denmark, the World Junior Championships back in the 22-23 season. For their U16 program, played 6 games for his native country. So he's got some World Junior Championship experience. Fleming with a shot, doesn't get all the way through. Alvin trying to stick it through. Shot there. Sorensen didn't know where it was, but he made the save. He was in the right position. And the Jets continue to press. Finally got their first shot in on Sorensen. Taylor now back over to Fleming. Fleming now back to Taylor. Taylor sends it up. Bouncing puck goes wide and Outman misfired. The puck came right back. Puck comes across to Outman. And Outman chases it down. Upcheka will play it. Sends it all the way down. Picked up by Weisshire, who sends it in. Upcheka lost it in the skates, but Tyler Fleming's able to bail out his goaltender. Tipped in by Joel Patterson, who also has World Junior Championship experience, playing for his native country in New Zealand. Last season, tied for 8th in the team in scoring for the U20 program. Previous to that, with the U18 program, 2nd in the team in scoring for his native country in New Zealand. Off the helmet of Weisshire, and Varelli sends it in. Sorensen plays it there for Weisshire. Coming across Patterson to Varelli. Varelli now pressured by Weisshire. Varelli and Weisshire battle along the boards. Picked up by Patterson, who tries to stick his nose in there. As does a 7 of Aiden Hartzell, and out comes with it as a 26 of Mikhailo Bedzoian. Bedzoian lost it. Hartzell's shot saved by Sorensen, and he'll hang on with 7:55 to go. here in the first period. Shots a little closer now. Yeah, Evan Peacock was the starting goaltender, and the first shot of the game got past him. And for those tuning in, and head coach Jamie Lovell wasted no time. Jacob Upcheka checks into the game. So we're going to dig into that, see if there's perhaps an injury to Peacock or something of that nature. We'll definitely let you know when we can. As Fournier dumps the puck in, just watch his younger brother Alex Fournier play in the previous game. MJDP in Columbus as Sorensen gloves it down. Picked up there by the 44, Ryan Bonfrancisco. Feeds it up. Fournier sticks it right back into the Charlotte zone. As Peyton Munger to Bonfrancisco. Sends it all the way down. Ice negated, forces Jake Blum to play the puck. Bounces in on the 88 of Kiyanka, who's got the Charlotte Rush goal. Just a minute 27 into the first period. AJ Zaccani with a shot. Divided pump, bouncing puck loose in the goal crease and knocked down. And a penalty coming. It's going to be on the Jets. AJ Zaccani, 2-minute minor for holding, will put the Charlotte Rush in the power play for the first time today. And the Rush, pretty good, 25.7%. Has scored 25 power play goals and 97 opportunities of the man advantage, while the Metro Jets, 85% of the penalty kill, have scored 6 shorthanded goals. 23rd best in the league on a penalty kill with that 85%. 13th best in the league with 6 shorthanded goals. The Jets now out shooting the Rush 5-4, but it was that first shot of the game is the difference. As Weisshire had it knocked away, Jake Taylor sends it down. Picked up by Sorensen, leaves it there. For Tristan McAuliffe. McAuliffe now to Kiyanka. Kiyanka to Ben Weisshire. Weisshire brings it in. Sends it across over for Jake Malzone. Knocked off the puck by Chase Martin. Tardo now. Grabs it for Kiyanka. Weisshire now. Back over to Kiyanka. The 18-year-old from Trebek in Czechia. Jackson Stone grabs it, sends it down into the Rush zone. And Ben Weisshire will organize things. The 20-year-old from Canton, Georgia. Second season with the Rush. Wearing the captain's C, sends it back to the 91 of Hunter Kersner. Kersner dumps it in, picked up by Jake Taylor. Taylor wraps it around the boards, kept in by Bonfrancisco. Ryan Bonfrancisco, bouncing puck goes wide. Picked up by Papshev. Papshev sends it behind the net. Kersner had it, lost it to Enric Fournier, who fires it down into the Charlotte zone. Bonfrancisco will grab it, his 3rd season with the Charlotte Rush. Sends it over to Hunter Kersner. Kersner, quick pass to Munger. Munger to back over to Kersner and picked up by Papshev. Philippe Papshev. Circles, spires, save made by Upcheka, and he'll hang on with 5:20 to go here in the first period. Shots are much, much closer now. 6-6 even between the Rush and the Metro Jets. Merrick Kiyanka, his 6th goal of the season from Carson Unger at 1:27 to give the Rush a 1-0 lead. Bonfrancisco will go after it, picked up by, stalked there by Evangelista. That should just about do it for the power play. Maybe not. Here comes Gagnon. Gagnon backhand shot and he scores! Justin Gagnon with the goal. It's 2-0 with a second left in the power play. Justin Gagnon, the 20-year-old from Saguenay, Quebec, Canada, his 11th goal of the season. That is his 6th goal on the power play this year. And the Rush off to the races with a 2-0 lead over the host Metro Jets. A stunned crowd here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. A very good crowd on hand. They're wrapped around the boards to our right. And it is 2-0 Rush over the Jets. Caleb sends a bouncing puck save made by Sorensen on the redirect by Luka Pivets. Power play goal by the Charlotte Rush. Justin Gagnon, his 11th of the season from Adriano Bongiorno at 12:04 to give the Rush a 2-0 lead. Pivets deflects it in. Bongiorno grabs it. Bounces off a stick. Jackson Stone grabs it. Stone kicked away by Bongiorno. Pivets is right there. Pivets behind the net. Feeds it up too far for Chase Martin. And the puck goes all the way down into the Jets zone. Merritt Kianka, Justin Gagnon, the goal scorers for the Rush. You lead 2-0. Here comes Jackson Stone. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Quick pass knocked away by Landon German. Isaac Bunk trying to keep it in. Takes it away from Jake Malzone. Deflects it into the zone. Charlotte's end, that is. Puck kept in by Isaac Bunk. Bunk with a shot was blocked. Comes back to Majeski, who fires. Save made by Sorensen. Comes back to Landon German. Former Toledo Cherokee. As mentioned, seeing a lot of playing time here at Mount Clemens Ice Arena, the old Metro Jet Toledo Cherokee games. Big hit there on Bunk. And Joel Patterson comes back with it. He's got Ryder Novak to his right elbow. With knocked out of the puck, Ben Weisshire grabs it. Weisshire comes out. Skates around Aiden Hartzell. Weisshire's got speed. He'll backhand it into the corner. Up Checka. We'll play it there for Isaac Bunk. Bunk now to Joel Patterson. Patterson to Aiden Hartzell. Hartzell brings it in. Hartzell, the 17-year-old from Muskegon, Michigan, trying to feed it to Zaccani. Zaccani now at the Jets in the midst of a line change. Zaccani trying to kick it over to Aiden Sharon. Sharon grabs it back to Hartzell. Hartzell shot off the side of the net. Comes back to Sharon. Pressured there by the 21 of Peyton Munger. Munger with the puck. Pressured by Sharon again. Zaccani kicks it away. Pressured there by the 91 of Hunter Kersner. And out comes with it is Weisshire. Elgin to Munger. Munger now over into the corner. Enric Fournier will grab it over to Jake Blum. Blum now to Zaccani, who deflects it in. He'll chase after it. Kianka is there. Merritt Kianka, who opened the scoring for the Rush. Leaves it there. Turnover in front by Bon Francisco. By A.J. Zaccani almost had an opportunity as Bon Francisco dumps the puck in. Picked up by Enric Fournier. Fournier around the boards. Met there by Zaccani. And Zaccani kicks it over for Jake Blum. 1:58 to go here in the first period. Charlotte Rush up to a 2-0 lead. And icing the call, minute 52 to go here in the first period. So face off deep in the Jet zone to the right, a goaltender Jakub Cheka, who came in relief of a starter Evan Peacock. Bongiorno sends it over to the 24 of Dylan Paranjapi, who sends it in. Jake Blum will go after it. Blum for Zaccani. Zaccani feeds up to Aiden Sharon. Too far for him. McAuliffe takes it away. Gomboski deflects it into the corner. Paranjapi pressured by Sharon. Tristan McAuliffe will grab it. The 17-year-old from Raleigh, North Carolina. Feeds it up. Quick passes back to McAuliffe. Off the pass there from Paranjapi. Shot saved by Upcheka. Rebound comes out. Gomboski drives his man to the boards. Martin now the puck. Taken away there by Paranjapi. Bongiorno is there. Shot goes wide. And the puck will come all the way out. Not out. And it was out as Paranjapi couldn't keep it in. $1:04 left here in the first period. Marin Kianka and Justin Gagnon, the goal scorers for the Charlotte Rush. who lead 2-0 over one of the tri-hosts. Stuff attempt around the short side by Sutton Majeski, and Sorensen had the post covered. Martin to Taylor. Jake Taylor spins back over to Martin. Martin sends it towards the net. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Weisshire. And net is off the moorings with 41.7 seconds left here in the first period. Jackson Stone will take the draw. I guess John Attardo. Peavitz off the draw win by Stone. Sends it over the corner, met there by Bezoian. Popped right out in front. Stone couldn't pull the trigger. 30 seconds left here in the first period. Kept in by Taylor. Nice play, but a hand pass being called with 25 seconds left here in the first period. Merritt Kiaka scored on the first shot of the game, a minute 27 seconds into the first period. And Jakub Obcheka came in after said first goal. Since then, the Rush have scored in the power play to make it 2-0. Malzone trying to feed it to Peterson. Peterson shot saved by Obcheka. Malzone grabs it. Time winding down. Shot there was blocked. Save, rebound, and the horn sounds to end period number 1. Charlotte Rush up 2-0 over the Metro Jets. Charlotte Rush with 8 shots on goal. Metro Jets with 9. Merritt Kianka, his 6th of the season from Carson Unger at 127 on starting goaltender Evan Peacock. Jakub Obcheka came in after that goal and the first shot of the game. And then Justin Gagnon on the power play, his 11th goal of the season from Adriano Bongiorno at 12:04 of the first period. And that's where we're at. Charlotte Rush up 2-0 over the host Metro Jets. And as we've explained all weekend long, USPHL Detroit Showcase format a little bit different than a regular season game, though the regular season, these games do count in the regular season standing. Instead of the standard 20 minutes of play for each period, it is 17 minutes per period. Normally we resurface the ice at the end of each period. In this case, we're in the midst of a break, and we'll have 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first half of the second period. Then we'll resurface the ice. Come back, play the second half of the second period, then finish off with the third period. That's generally how it works here at the USPHL Detroit Showcase.